High school plans to attend college. Stay senior.
Welcome, Bulldog football fans, to Oologah, Oklahoma. It's the site of the last regular season game, Wagoner Bulldogs versus the Oologah Mustangs.
Participated in Vader for 7 years.
On a special edition of Friday Night Bulldogs on a Thursday night, due to some incoming weather predicted for tomorrow. It's called Oologah, and they were able to make it happen for tonight. So it might be a little thinner crowd on both the home and visitor side due to the Thursday night. But be sure to get the word along that we are live, and we're going to bring continues to drop and the wind continues to pick up. So we'll be probably battling the elements tonight, and it's going to be a lot better than tomorrow night as far as the forecast goes. And some would argue, oh, what's a little bit of rain? Well, you're this deep into the season, you don't want to take any unnecessary chances of any type of injury or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, especially for our team that throws the football so much. We would like to not play in that kind of weather, even though it's probably going to happen in the playoffs. But let's just wait till then to have to deal with that.
Exactly.
And as you said, the thing is in these last games, especially when you have the district championship all wrapped up, and you just want to try to get through this game to be healthy. And just thinking back to all my years of coaching, these were always difficult games for us in a sense. You just wanted to get out there, establish something real quick, get your starters off the field, and try to rest up, get yourself ready for that playoff.
Absolutely, and we are hopefully getting into playoff mode. Even though this is the last regular season game, the Bulldogs coming in with a record of 9-0. Marilyn Watkins, thanks for logging on already. She's watching from Haskell tonight. Home of the Haymakers and the home of a good friend of both Coach Alexander and I worked together with him, Darren Hummingbird, the high school principal there at Haskell. And Tristan Ketcher, I know you recognize that.
Yeah, I definitely do. He actually was a quarterback the year before I came, but
okay.
I definitely was paying attention to what Dell was doing. If you guys don't know, Dell and I went to high school together. His dad was my high school football coach.
Okay.
And known the Condic family for a long time, mean a whole lot to me. And but I definitely watched that first year, that championship run. That was championship game run, I should say, and it was very exciting to see. And I was blessed and fortunate to be able to be part of all this that following year. He actually asked me to a year previous, the year he went to Wagner, to come join the staff. And I was in my second year, or after my first year, I was going to my second year at Edmond Memorial.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, I'm going to, I just started here. Let me try to ride this out, see how this goes. And got to watch him make it to the state finals. And I got to coach a team that went 1-9. So I definitely said, I think I made a mistake and called him up that next summer and said, hey, is there still some possibilities? And I got really fortunate that he had an opening the previous day that I called before I called. He had found out that one of his assistants was about to get a job somewhere else. So I was able to slip in there. So.
And haven't looked back since.
No.
So that would have been 2006.
Yeah, my first year was 2006.
The previous year was Condit's first year, and what a marriage that has been. Definitely without its ups and downs throughout the last 19 years. I think it's 19 seasons for him. But that was way back in 2005. We actually traveled to Norman for the state championship game to beat the Clinton Tornadoes, and I believe the final score was 20-7, if I remember correctly. And Tristan was the quarterback at that time, I believe. And war number 4, Tristan, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but Thanks for logging on tonight. And 34 already have logged on as we're 8 minutes away from kickoff. It's actually senior night tonight. And here we are observing the national anthem, and we will pause for that.
I want to you gave a shout out to Darren Drummybird there earlier. I definitely have to give him a shout out because Darren and I actually coached track together for quite a few
Okay,
years.
that's right.
Matt Wagner, and I always tout him to say he is the greatest shot put and discus coach in the state of Oklahoma.
100%.
Man, he is very, very good at that craft, and definitely helped us to a lot of regional championships.
Yes.
And some great finishes at state. So.
And I believe at least 3 of those athletes went on to college to do the same thing. I know Kodisha Harlan did, Corey Mormon,
yes,
and then the most recent. Oh, she's going to kill me if she's listening.
Hold on. Man, that's bad. I can't remember myself. I turned 50 and now I can't remember right
As the Bulldog captains stand at midfield, 99, Zevlin Blalalong. Number 10, Avon Goodland. Number 2, Decaden Ford. And number 19 is Carson Klinger. The captains tonight for the Bulldogs. 5 minutes reads on the scoreboard, so you got time to cuddle up maybe if you're at home and you like your house cool and maybe got the windows open even. You're probably going to shut those pretty quickly.
Yes.
It's getting chilly out here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm fixing to turn 49 myself, and I every month it seems I hate the cold even more.
Yes. I really do not like cold weather at all. My wife, not give her a shout out here. My wife loves to travel, and she's trying to convince me to go to places that are cold weather in the mountains. And I'm going to open up my mind, go ahead and try those, but I definitely like some nice tropical weather.
Now, I'm definitely not opposed to those trips, but only if I've got the equipment to deal with the weather. So I like the snow and everything as long as I can stay somewhat warm, and knowing that at the end of the day I can at least go somewhere warm.
Yes, definitely.
So other than that, I want to leave that at home too. So we hope everything is going well for you at home. Tony Owen, thanks for logging on. I want to mention to everybody, again, John has taken the Thursday off as we're on a Thursday night Bulldogs, taking Thursday off. And so we're only going to be able to access one of our chat rooms. So if you want to be involved in that one where we can actually see, make sure that you're on the Wagoner versus Ulaga stream. Okay. every week there's actually two different options. One says Wagner versus whoever we're playing, and then the other one just says Wagner. So if you've clicked on just the Wagner one, you'll be able to chat with the people in the chat room with you, but we won't be able to see that as when we see Wagner versus Ulaga. So I know that sounds really weird and convoluted, but trust me, that's we apologize. We didn't figure this out till about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So anything prior to that, you might have typed in and like, hey, why didn't they say anything about? Well, we didn't see it. Okay, so just be aware of that throughout the night. You might remind people that maybe text you or say, "Hey, why aren't they saying anything about the comment I made?" Well, that's probably it. So we appreciate the 71 that are logged on already. If you are on that Wagner stream, again, we don't know the numbers there. And as the Bulldogs take the field, I believe that's number 26, Anthony Coleman, leading the charge for the Bulldogs. So, Coach, how do you get your players on both sides of the field? And we try to talk about this before games start. If you're the Ulaga coaches, knowing that you're facing a 9-0 team and maybe not the season that you quite wanted it, what do you say to your players right now?
No, you don't want them to go out there and actually finish up the season strong. Of course, you didn't accomplish your goals that you wanted to do, and that's disappointing. But you just want to go out and finish strong. It's an opportunity to, no, of course, not to save your season, but to save a little face to go out and beat somebody that no one expects you to beat. And it is a great rivalry.
Yes.
It's kind of funny coming to the stadium. I've had so many big games here, and big games against Ulaga on neutral sites. So I'll have some good stories about some of that later. But nothing would be better for them to beat Wagner tonight.
And here's the opening kickoff, short kickoff, and it'll be picked up at about the 30. That's Goodland. Goodland trying to get to the outside. He does turn up the corner, and he'll return that for about 8 yards. And the sophomore, Leland, just really has come on this year. Showed a little bit of promise last year, and he's not very big, but man, he's fast.
Oh yes, he is. He's got some moves, and I had the pleasure of my last year of coaching. I was also offensive coordinator for the freshman team that year, and he was on that team. And he was definitely a big part of it. And yeah, he's a good player, man. They got a lot of weapons on offense.
1st and 10 for Wagner from the own 38-yard line. This will be Trenton Edward, and that front four. Coach, if there is a strong point on this Ulaga defense, it's that front four.
Yeah, I talked to Travis Bryant, offensive coordinator, earlier today, and he said that front seven is pretty dang good. I mean, they're not only are those three down linemen, those backers are all really good. 72 here is a very, very physical player.
Okay, so here's,
as you can see,
Charbonneau.
There it is. He's got the face mask.
No gain on that previous play, and Charbonneau is ahead for 2. And it looked as though the referee might have missed that face mask, but it came in.
Yeah, you got it.
Subby, thanks for logging on. Sandra Gabes, go Bulldogs. Sandra watching from the Netherlands, and I'm sure Tim will be. Actually, he is standing right about at the 43-yard line. I see right on the 45. That is Tim Gabes and his mom and dad. I believe Sandra is the mom and Peter is the dad. But anyway, they are watching from the Netherlands as he is our foreign exchange student this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was just a 5-yard face mask there. Just like I really felt like he yanked on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking, didn't even recognize. I was like, wait a minute, that's not 15 yards.
Yeah.
So that was Trenton Edward on that previous run. He'll get first down yardage to midfield. So the Bulldogs will have the ball 1st and 10 on the opening drive of this ball game. Here's Charbonneau. throws it out in the
Well.
flat underneath to Matson Swanson. Swanson with some blockers in front. And, Coach, we see so many weapons that Wagner has, whether it's in the backfield or receiving, and of course you got Charbonneau as well. And you just got to pick your poison.
Oh yeah. They got a lot of weapons on offense. With our RPO game that we got here, it does force the defense to try to pick your poison. But the only problem is all the poison is deadly.
Exactly.
So it puts them in a bind. I talked to them a little bit of what they, what are you guys seeing a whole lot against you with your RPO game? Because sometimes defenses can kind of, I wouldn't say force your hand, but they'll tip off what they're willing to give up. And so I asked them, what do you guys see a whole lot? And you'll see that they kind of back off and they kind of want to give up the short pass and see if they can come up and rally and tackle.
Well, that's number 3, Matson Swanson again. And that's going to be another first down inside the Mustang 20 to about the 19-yard line. And right now, the Bulldogs are just moving at will.
Yeah, he did a great curl route right there and sat down in open space, showed his numbers to the quarterback. It's a great throw.
Here's a pitch to Trenton Edward. And he's inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Came down a little awkwardly there, but he hopped right up.
Yeah. He's not a real big kid, but boy, he is very shifty and a very elusive runner. So he does a great job.
So they're going to spot it right at just inside the 10. Second and short. Here's, is that Goodland? Yeah, he's looking for Goodland. And pretty good defensive coverage there.
Yeah, he was right there. We're trying to run the RPO right there, kind of either going to give or throw that quick slant. If you got you look, you see that guy that's covering him has some little outside leverage. You can get underneath him, kind of pre-snap read and go ahead and fling that out there. So, but still great coverage by DB.
Third and short, that's Trenton Edward, and he'll make first down yardage. So it'll be first and goal for Wagner at the Mustang 7-yard line. Again, the opening drive of this ball game has started about the 35, and we're about 8 plays in. And that might be the best defensive stop. Well, that first play and now this one.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been chunks of yardage.
Yeah. We've been taking chunks and taking what that defense has given us all the way down the field here.
First and goal for the Bulldogs from the Mustang 7. And here's Charbonneau.
Counter action
takes himself, and he is in for the touchdown. Late flag comes in.
Probably going to get us on a holding.
Okay. And that's exactly what it was. Number 4, Charbonneau just kind of patiently picked his way through right up the middle, but we couldn't get away from that holding call.
Yeah, definitely couldn't. Nice blocking scheme there, though. Go ahead and run the counter. You fake your sweep one way, counter back. And as you said, Charbonneau was really patient. Got to let that guy pull around and read that block and get up in there.
First and goal.
So now we're first and goal from the 14 after that holding call from the spot of the foul. Trenton Edward.
Woo, good job.
Jumps across, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And, you talk about how shifty that Edward is. He also, I feel like, has really good
got
patience.
A flag down.
Uh-oh. That's got to be post-possession.
Got us on another holding.
Okay. Missed that flag entirely. And, you're right. Got another holding call. So now we're going to be first and goal from the 24.
Oh.
You don't call that very often.
No, you don't. And I know I listen to whenever another one of my fellow coaches, Nick Humphreys, was on here. And I know he said kind of like a tip-off thing that you really try to run sweet to your sideline a lot to not get the holding call, but that kind of worked against us that time.
All kinds of time for Charbonneau. Throws it into the end zone and just throws it out of bounds. And he had a lot of real estate in front of him.
I thought he was going to go ahead and tuck in and run there a little bit, but really try to go look for that guy in the end zone.
Rocky Mitchell, thanks for logging on, and thanks for the shout-outs. Great Scott Fireworks. It's Kale's grandpa watching from Coweta. And again, if you want to interact with us in the chat room, make sure you're on the Wagner versus Oologah stream, not just the Wagner one. I won't go into the details again.
Here. I feel like he's backed up. There you go.
That's Coleman. Coleman makes a move. He's inside the 10, and puts his head down, bulls his way to the 3-yard line. And I think that was still first down, right?
I think so. That was an example of what I was talking about right there. They were all backed up. He was single. Defensive back was way backed off, and they just took what they gave him. Just ran a little hitch route, and put a move on, and let's athlete on athlete to see if you can tackle us.
And Coleman this year has really come on the offensive side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Last year it was more defense, and this year he's caught several passes, several long touchdown throws.
Oh, yeah.
And he's really good on that curl route.
Oh,
And
yeah.
once he turns upfield, he makes a move, and he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
good
sharp
job.
and all. And this time he makes sure that it's going to stick.
Yep. No flags this time. No flags.
Touchdown
score.
Bulldogs.
3 times, get 1.
That was a 4-minute and 12-second drive, and I think 3 minutes of it started at first and goal.
Yes. Anthony Coleman, again, I can give you a little insight from when I last coached. He was a sophomore my last year, and really was a running back then. And we were playing, I can't remember exactly what team we were playing, but they were a passing offense. And we moved him out to play some wide receiver on a scout team, and we were really shocked and amazed at how good he was at receiver.
Yeah.
And it kind of got us to switch them positions there.
That is Rhett Butler on the extra point, and it went wide. Boy, that looked like
I thought that was in.
I did too.
Looked like an angle.
Looked like it went through the uprights, but their signal was no good.
Good.
I guess we are at a bad angle because it looked good to me. I will say that it did hang up in the air longer than what it normally does. And so maybe he got up under it a little more than what he wanted to.
Yeah, this wind is, it's a pretty good wind blowing right here across the field.
Yeah. I think we're blowing east to west. The field is blowing north and south, and so that would make sense as they would have pushed it far right, and I guess that's what happened.
Yeah.
So the score remains Wagoner Bulldogs 6, the Bulldogs Mustangs 0, 7:48 on the clock. Again, we thank you for logging on and getting caught up. Stacy Vincent, Stacy and Jeff watching from Rocky Point. Keaton Cole, I know you recognize that name.
Yeah.
Keaton made it on, and David Murray's. All right, looking and sounding good. David and I played football together way back in the early 90s. He was part of that Showergate team.
Yes, I've heard that story.
And here is that onside kick. That is live. And did Wagoner get it? Yes, they did.
And, I was going to say, if Bulldogs watched film from last week, I think the one thing that you definitely need to be prepared for is an onside kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it is. We're hot poops on sides. We got all kind of tricks going. So, Bulldogs have been really, really good on special teams this year.
Rhett Butler, I tell you what, I think he can do this with his eyes closed now because, like you said, just watch even just one game, and you're going to figure out, hey, we better be ready for an onside kick at any
moment.
point.
Yes, any moment.
So now the Bulldogs have had the ball 1st and 10 on the Mustang 47. Here's a quick hit over to Goodland. Goodland not able to get out of the grasp of that first tackler, but still not bad yardage on first down.
Yeah. Those bubbles out there, that's a kind of extension of your run game. Just a little quick hitter out there and just get you a few yards.
Karen McCollum, thanks for logging on. Mark Jones watching from Buffalo, New York tonight. Thanks, Mark.
Nice counter.
And I'm sure, that's Edwards still on his feet down the side. Cuts back to the inside.
I said, very elusive.
Yes, he is. I thought they had him bottled up for sure, short of first down yardage, and he just able to weave his way in and out through it. We got a Mustang down on the field right now. Well, it looks like he's going to be okay. Although
I think they're going to sub him.
Yeah, they better.
If he is, he's going to stay. Let's say he's not going to make it.
Okay. Looks like they've taken either a timeout or an injury timeout. Is number one. Still, he was limping there for a while, and then he started holding his gut. So they're going to have to get him straightened out as the Bulldogs are looking at a 1st and goal from the 9. And Leland going back to those onside kicks. What last week it was 3 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was onside. Then he kicked a high pooch, which is basically almost an onside because of just positioning where you want it to land. And then yes, they did another onside kick. So after we score, you might see another one.
Yeah, for sure. So we are back to the action with the Bulldogs. First and goal from the Mustang 9. And, well, the teams were ready, but the refs weren't.
Yeah, refs aren't. Come on, guys, get out here. Oh, they're shifting formation here.
That's Miller and Goodland.
Number advantage over there. Oh,
Oh, we're going to go weak
Counter.
side.
Counter.
Charbonneau.
Action. Oh,
He got somebody.
Oh, said he hit the ground.
Okay. It was Goodland.
Yeah, look.
I thought he was looking at the shorter route, and he really zipped it in there.
He zipped that in there.
It was Goodland along the backside, and they said he hit the ground first. So
Yep. Kind of our old, we called it waggle when you go to, or boot, some people call it.
Okay.
Right there, and you always have guys at different levels.
Yep.
And,
oh, that's Trenton Edward, and he wisely just sit down and live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Whatever happened there, we missed. We missed the call on who's walking who.
Yeah, we had some instant penetration on that, so we had no choice but just go down.
Now back in our day, Leland, I think it was called a naked bootleg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically all the motion goes left and you go right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just you and probably one lone defender.
Yep, that's it.
As everybody else goes with the motion. Here's Charbonneau looking near the inside.
Oh, okay. Play a little defense there at the end of that.
Coleman trying to make a play on the ball, but almost batted it into the arms of the Mustangs.
Almost did. Well, it looks like, we're going to go ahead and give it a shot with this field goal.
And Andrew, thanks for logging on. And I think the scoreboard's right now, and we may be having a little trouble with that, but the score is 6-0 if you want to let everybody else know. And here's a field goal attempt from Balong, and this will be a 32-yarder. That kick is good.
All right. I was trying
32. That time we had to make sure 32 yards for Balong. Had plenty of leg.
Oh, yeah.
And not quite down the middle, but it was in the middle enough.
Yes, that's a good kick.
The only thing you got to do is get it between those two yellow poles, and whether it's in the middle or not, as long as it's between them.
Yep, there you go.
So, Linda, thanks for logging on. Libby Lamberson, Brent Lawson, it is 6-0. And Jamie, thanks for logging on as we are over the 200 mark already here in this first quarter. 6 minutes, 1 second left. Again, if you want to interact with us in the chat room, make sure you're Wagoner versus Oologah, not just the Wagoner one. It's the same action and it's the same audio, but we just won't be able to see your comments. So we want to thank everybody that has supported Friday Night Bulldogs throughout the season, and we'll get to our corporate and elite sponsors after this Balong kickoff.
All right, actually kick the deepest.
Yeah, going to be fielded at the 10-yard line, and here comes a reverse, and that's set up pretty good. Number 12, and Goodland able to slow him up a little bit, but he's that actually was set up very nicely.
Yes, it was. In a game like this, you asked me earlier about the things Oologah's going to do. Well, I'm telling you, they're probably going to let everything, every trick they've got, they're going to try it all tonight. There's no other game next week, so you might as well get all those tricks out and do everything you can to try to give yourself an advantage. While I got a short time here, I'm going to shout out to my wife, Leslie, and my girls, Emily and Talia.
Yep.
You guys are listening. You guys don't know how hard it is to be a coach's wife and all the things they have to do.
Oh, yeah.
She put in a lot of good years. So
yes.
With that.
There's Goodland almost And I think he was just excited that it was that available for
Oh
him.
man, he was already looking at the end zone down there to see if he was where he was going to get in and do a celebration dance. Oh,
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Cleveland, we're halfway through the first quarter, and we can't forget this is the first possession of the Mustang offense.
it is. And I understand what Wagner's trying to do. They want to try to get all over them.
A shovel pass.
Oh, nice.
Okay, across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And I think that's probably the first time our defense has seen that all season.
Oh yeah. It was set up nicely. Yeah, I know. I'm saying that Wagner wants to jump all over them and try to get all over them and try to get this thing over with as early as possible, if it is possible, and get out of here clean.
3rd and 4 from the 47-yard line as the Mustangs look to the sideline for the play. That was a pickup of about 6. Here's a 3rd and 4. Quarterback looking at the flat, got his man,
there,
and makes a good move, and another 5 yards on that pickup. And Charbonneau able to make the tackle, but the Mustangs moving the ball into Bulldog territory.
Yeah, did a good job right there. Checked off. Kind of saw a little bit of hole right there in the coverage, and knew they could run that little quick out to try to pick up that first down.
Mario Young, thanks for logging on. Stillwater, America. Kevin Orange, thanks for being here with us, and all our Bulldog fans, wherever you may be. Right now, it's Ulaga on the move, 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 42-yard line. Quarterback on the keeper,
Great job.
and that is Von Holt and Bo McFarland. Bo McFarland really last year kind of started making a name for himself. He's all over the place now as a senior.
I tell you, he is like one of my favorite players to watch because I always say that joke of Bo just makes plays.
Yep.
You look at him and you think like, man, he's just another guy out there. But boy, he is a very, very good high school football player and makes a lot of big plays for him on offense and defense.
And special teams.
Yeah, does it all.
So that will be a 2nd and 10 now for the Mustangs. Here's a quick hit in the flat. And, slipped the tackle, and that's Miller, who almost blocked that from the very beginning.
Yeah, actually, a very good job of the quarterback actually getting that out and getting it to work because we have that play well scouted out because we jumped it pretty fast. They're going to throw that swing out there, but he was still able to at least complete it, but still.
Had he not pump faked that, I think Miller is going to pick 6.
Oh yeah, he was all over.
No gain on the play for a 3rd and 10 from the Bulldog 42-yard line. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left in this first quarter. Wagner now 9-0. And here's the quarterback rolling to his right, and he's hit as he threw. I believe that was number 54. Is that Anthony Harris?
Yep.
I believe it's 54.
Yeah. Job.
And forced maybe a little bit earlier throw than what the quarterback wanted to. That was a 3rd and 10. Incomplete pass makes it 4th and 10. And now all of a sudden the Ulaga offense has kind of sputtered out there.
Yes, they have.
And now they will punt on 4th and 10. He thought about it.
Yeah. There.
That's a good bounce for Ulaga inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. So we got a flag come in. Not sure what that's going to be. We'll wait on the official call. But as of right now, the Bulldogs pinned back deep as the Mustangs chose field possession and pinned the Bulldogs deep. It looks like it's going to be against Wagner.
Holding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holding against the Bulldogs. That'll go back even further inside the 5.
Goal here.
Probably be at the 4-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' own 4.
Yeah. Now watch out here, guys. Don't sleep on the fact you might not take a shot.
Yep. Kelly Thayer, thanks for logging on. Saying go Dogs.
Run it here.
Be very careful as we're standing in our end zone. Charbonneau with Trenton Edward in the backfield with him. Yeah, this will be pretty safe bet. And here's Charbonneau into the secondary and out to the 20. And just like that, the Bulldogs went with their back against their own end zone to a pretty comfortable position.
Man, it's definitely nice that you can go ahead and run that sucker right up the middle like that and be able to get so much yardage.
16 yards to be accurate, 16 yards to the 20. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 20 as we near 2.5 minutes here in this first quarter. Charbonneau, plenty of time, across the middle, got his man just a little bit behind Coleman.
The dig route settled in out there and just kind of threw it a little back behind him there. Yeah.
So the Bulldogs are back on the line of scrimmage already, picking up the tempo on a 2nd and 10 play from the 20. This time it's Trenton Edward over the left side. The ball comes out. The Ulaga ball. And we had a good view of that as they were running towards us, Leland, and you saw Edwards' reaction. He knew it popped out. He just had no idea where it went.
Yeah. The Ulaga defender just reached right in there and punched it right out. So this is you don't want to have turnovers, and you don't want a team that is on their last leg here to give them any kind of momentum and make them think they're going to be in this game. So.
Right, not at all. And right now, if they punch it in here, it looks, there's those first 2 possessions like, okay, we're going to have the same repeat as last week. Now, all of a sudden, we'll see if Ulaga can capitalize on this turnover with a 1st and 10 on the Bulldog 23.
Yep.
Handoff straight up the middle. That's Gavin Miller on the tackle. Pickup of about, they're going to give him 3.
Yeah, 3.
Right to the 20, so a 2nd and 7. Our corporate sponsors for Friday Night Bulldogs, we want to thank them for allowing us to supporting the stream all season long. Advanced Orthopedics, Cherokee Personnel, Prestige Plumbing, Good Neighbor Realty, Row Insurance, and we'll come to the rest of them after this play on a 2nd and 7. Quarterback looking across the middle. And who was that on the? Is that Cole? No, that's Javon Miles or Javon Smith, 25.
Yeah, and Swanson came in there and broke that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it looked like 25 kind of dropped back as he was the ball was in the air and he kind of followed the ball and ran to the football and heck, he almost got back in there and got himself a pick.
Row Insurance, Richard Gray, Kevin Grover, GMC, Moore Lancaster Agency, Bank First, Apex Title and Closing, and Beth Johnson of Good Neighbor Realty, our corporate sponsors of Friday Night Bulldogs on a 3rd and 7. Quarterback looking for, and he finds his receiver, but McFarland probably disrupted a little bit of that timing, and quarterback threw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. We came off the edge there and right in the quarterback's face there. So before he knew anything, he had to let that go.
It still picked up about 2 on the play. We'll call it 4th and 5 from the Bulldogs 17-yard line.
All right, watch the ball here. Going to be a long count.
Yeah. Don't move. Watch the ball.
It's funny how everybody in the stadium knows that sometimes, and still the kids will jump.
Quarterback looking in the flat, makes the catch, and that is short. Going to be short. Yep. Charbonneau, and that is Ford, I believe. Oh, they're going to give you forward progress to the 10.
Oh.
Still not going to be enough, though.
Not enough.
So the Bulldog defense holds and will create the turnover on downs, 1st and 10 from the 15. It looked to be shy of the 15, and then when they spotted it there, I thought they're going to have to be at least close enough for a measure.
Yeah, they gave a great spot right there, so I'm glad we held them short there.
1st and 10 Wagoner from their own 15, 1:05 left in this first quarter.
I got Tayshawn Williams in the backfield now.
Charbonneau. He's going deep. That's Matson Swanson. Oh! Just beyond his reach. And if the Bulldog fans remember from last year, Swanson caught a long touchdown right here in this very spot. It's just on the other side of the field. We were going the same direction. And I believe Christina, his mama, had recorded that off the Friday Night Bulldogs page and posted that as a highlight.
Oh, yeah. One thing, you play the Wagoner Bulldogs, you are going to get a post right over top thrown on you.
That's a good collision there,
What?
just shy of the 20. Tayshawn Williams on the reception. Also, this may be something that Swanson wanted to forget. I believe he got hurt on that
Oh,
play.
yes, you're right. Yes, he did.
And caught the touchdown pass anyway, or at least got to the 1 or 2, but had gotten injured and just wasn't able to go full speed for the rest of the game. Here's Charbonneau on a 3rd and 7.
Oh,
and that one just, yeah.
we got a flag down. Probably going to get us a holding, though.
That one sailed on a 3rd and 7. Either that or, okay, the Mustangs at least think it's going to go their way.
Yeah. Yep, got some holding.
Okay.
Just decline that.
I was about to say, this will
Down.
be a somewhat interesting call here. Do you want a 3rd and 7, or do you want a 4th and 7, or a 3rd and 17?
Yeah, if I'm them, I'm doing everything I can to get Wagner's offense off the field.
Yes.
You don't want to give them don't give them another shot because they could go 80 on you at any moment. So.
And it looks like they are going to decline that penalty. It'll be 4th and 7 as Bilal stands at his 5-yard line to.
Oh, looks like we got a flag on our sideline here. Oh,
We got
I had a
sideline infraction.
Yeah, sideline.
Boy, the way that flag came out, I don't know if the wind blew it or what. To be honest, I thought it was laying on the ground, and one of our players picked it up to throw it back. Hey, you forgot your flag, but it actually came from the side judge.
The funny thing is, I almost thought I was here in the stands. It was so high in there. I was like, whoa, somebody got a flag up here?
So Bilal will punt it away. Line drives, spiraling, takes a great bounce, and will roll dead at the 22-yard line. Now, again, I think he was standing at his 5.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to roll dead, so that's 45, 55, 65, 75, and well, I'm going to say a 75-yard punt.
Yeah.
I always hated that when they count punt yardage. It's from the line of scrimmage and not where they punted, which is 10 yards at least further back.
Hey, man, you cut me short on some yards here. That's moving that thing.
Pape's logging on. Thanks for logging on. Randy Pape and family. And here are the Mustangs trying to put something together here. Although after all of this, as we come to the end of the first quarter, after all of this, Leland, we're only up 9-0.
I know. Yeah, that's you look at it all, we're still really a close ball game here. So probably not we're playing well, except for the little turnover we had, but probably not how we wanted it to go.
Right. And certainly not the way last week went.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might not be exciting for fans, but as coaches, if we can get a game like that, we're very, very happy. There's nothing better than going in at halftime and you're not in there game planning. You're in there sitting down, kind of relaxing.
Yes, yeah. So our elite sponsors of Friday Night Bulldogs are Shipman Funeral Home, Armstrong Bank, Aspire Health, Arvest Bank, Blue Sky Bank, Smoking Sisters on Dewey, Meats and More, Wagner County Abstract, Al Drug, Bonnie's Flowers, and Smoking Sisters on Main. And we thank them for their support of Friday Night Bulldogs throughout this season. Be sure to stop in those places of businesses and then give them your business if you've enjoyed Friday Night Bulldogs. Leland, unfortunately, this will be the last time that we're able to mention our sponsors on the stream, because when we start playoffs, then it's solely sponsored by the OSSAA.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So
please keep that in mind as we go into the playoff season. We are not intentionally leaving them off. We have appreciated their support all season long, but due to OSSA regulations, we are not able to mention any other sponsor other than them starting in the playoffs. Yeah, that ball is alive. That's sharp. And that is
there you go.
So what happened, Leland, is the quarterback is a RPO, and he got hit and decided that he was going to throw it, but it was more of almost a push pass. And I don't know if that was.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, he threw it. Actually, he threw it backwards. He threw it back behind him, so it ended up being a live football.
No heads up play by number 4, Kale Charbonneau, is that all of a sudden we were just talking about quote unquote a slow start, based on what last week's performance was. And then here we go with the touchdown to start the second quarter.
Going for 2.
McHenry.
Boy, just
McHenry.
run that in. Oh, there you go. Yep.
Is that Elijah Love?
Yeah.
Late flag comes in on the very far side. It's got to be post possession.
I bet they're going to call a legal man downfield. When you run that swinging gate, your linemen that go over there have to stay put. I mean, if they move and go up forward, they'll go ahead and call them down the field.
Okay.
And I bet somebody over there moved.
I think you're right. I saw the hand on, hand on top of the head.
Yeah.
Illegal man downfield, as McHenry just seemed a little undecided of what he wanted to do.
Yeah, no, like I said, I thought he was just going to sprint that to the corner and go ahead and take it in.
So we're going to do it all over again, as that was Elijah Love at the back of the end zone bringing that pass in. So now we're going to try the extra point, a little bit longer extra point for Rhett Butler as he kicks it from the 15-yard line. Colt Stroud on the snap, Mattson Swanson on the hold. That kick is up, and it is through.
Very good kick.
Wagoner Bulldogs 16, Bulldogs Mustangs 0. We're 9 seconds in to this second quarter as the Wagoner fans continue to log on. We're 261 different places right now. And again, log on to the Wagoner, or click on the Wagoner Oologah stream, as that's one thing I didn't mention. Not only will we not, if you're on just the Wagoner stream, we won't be able to see your comments, but we also won't be able to see your views. And so that stream last week ended up having 150 views, and the other stream had 200 and something views. And so our viewership was a little off. We're having to take our shoes off and use our fingers and toes to add up things. But as of right now on the Wagoner Oologah stream, 263 different places that are logged on. And Leland, I know you've heard me talk about it over the years, even when you're on the sidelines, and mentioned a little bit about it. But it literally, Wagoner Bulldog football is literally viewed across the world.
Oh man, yeah, it's a huge deal, man, and we've just been so fortunate that the way our program has gone.
Absolutely.
And, all the success we've had, we definitely don't take it for granted.
Here's that high boosh kick. And they bounce, he squeezes through, and actually a good return to the 45-yard line. And, going back to what we were talking about, watching film, and then the great kickoff specialist that Rhett Butler has become on the onside kicks. He's also really good at those placement pooch kicks.
Oh, yeah.
And what you don't want to do is let it bounce.
Yeah, definitely. I coach special teams also when I was coaching, and I tell you, when you do things like this, it puts a lot of strain on the other team, their special teams, because there's a lot of things that they have to work on just with kickoff.
Yep.
And you only have so many hours to practice, so much time, and what you really want to make them work on that to take away some time for other things that they could be working on. So
1st and 10 for the Mustangs on their own 45. Quarterback with a quick hit in the flat, and that's Swanson. Swanson and the side judge was right there, and he must have been great timing.
Yeah, he put it just on time, just right when he needed to there.
Kelly Thayer, I see your comment. Yeah, Kelly and Drew Dixon are here at Oologah, have been for years. Drew and Kelly, we go way back. They're actually Wagoner several years ago, and we've been able to keep in contact over the years. Matter of fact, I talked to Drew both yesterday and today, and Kelly was texting back and forth, and they're here at Oologah, and their kids, Kinley, Ty. And here's an inside number 4, inside screenplay as the Mustangs are into Bulldog territory. And Kaya, that's their other daughter. All ended up graduating from Oologah and here with successful careers here at Oologah Public Schools.
Well, they did a real good job on that play because they had press coverage on him, and the inside receiver came out and got a real good block on Swanson right there. That was a well-designed play by Oologah.
3rd and 1 from the Bulldog 46. They need to get right at the 45 for a first down. Quarterback will keep it this time. Comes around the left side.
Nice job.
That's No, that's Miller first. Coleman. Who else is in there? Swanson looks like Miller. As the Bulldogs defense stiffens, that's a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Miller did a great job there. He could contain it. He kept the blocker on his inside shoulder and didn't let the back get outside of him. So that was a very, very good job.
4th and we'll call it 3 now. They need to get to the 45. Looks like they're going to punt and play field possession.
Oh, that is
backfired a little bit that time on the Mustangs. As the first time they punt, it almost looked like the punter has the option of running it or kicking it. He looked to hesitate there and just wasn't able to get the connection on the ball.
So some teams do that rugby style kick. They kind of give the kicker kind of the green light that if you see it, go ahead and run, or go ahead and kick it. And sometimes they get a little kind of caught in between what they're doing there, and they don't really get a good kick on the football there. So
Shirley Goodwin, thanks for logging on. Kathy Boyer. Shirley Harkins, she's Aunt Shirley to Cale Charbonneau watching for Tennessee tonight. Kathy Boyer, Steve Wilson, thank you guys for logging on. James, I'll come back to you. Here's Goodland.
Hold the call here.
Goodland across the 30 to 31-yard line.
His ankle. It's not good.
And he is still down, as it looked to be a clean tackle. And I hate to say that I don't want to insinuate that they're, dirty tackle or whatever, but or routine maybe is a better way of putting it. But
it looks like a clean tackle. Maybe kind of rolled the ankle as he went down. I hope that's what's going on here.
And he does pick up. Okay, so I believe it was a holding call again on the Bulldogs. So at least some first half talking points. Definitely going to have to talk about those holding calls.
Yeah, you don't want to make all these mistakes like this. But I mean, I guess if you're going to make them, I guess you make them that last regular season game and not carry it off to the playoffs.
Right. James Clayton logging on. Thanks, James, for an 88 grad, I believe, of Wagoner High School. And his dad also, James. And I know they logged on several times last year and coming in this year as well. Here's the Bulldogs on a 1st and 20. Charbonneau with plenty of time, now flush to his out of the pocket, decides he's going to run. And as always, 1, 2, 3. There were 3 tacklers that were not involved on
Yes, in the upper levels of football, you tell the quarterback to go ahead and slide and get down, but Charbonneau with his size, he'll go ahead and lower his head and lower his shoulder and go ahead and take some contact. So
and I have a feeling too that with his dad and uncle watching, and after this play, I'll come back to that. That's Decaden Ford.
Nice.
Ducks under 1 tackle, now crosses the 30 to the 31, looking for first down yardage. Wagner thinks they have it.
He's got it.
And he does have it. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, as it started at a 1st and 20, and now they're out to the 32-yard line and have a first down. But both Cale's dad, Miko, on the sidelines, and just as we were saying that, his Uncle Chris is walking up straight in front of us, and he's sitting right a couple of rows ahead of us. I have a feeling that if Charbonneau even had a thought of sliding, that either Miko or Chris would probably meet him out there on the field.
Yeah, I don't think they go over well at Charbonneau house. Those guys aren't. They don't look like they'd be some guys to avoid contact and slide.
Shirley and Great Scott, you guys can confirm that in our chat room. But
nice
that's Swanson on the slant. And had he not been tackled there at the 45, he was gone.
He was gone. That's the thing on the slant. I'd always tell my wide receivers, once you catch that slant, you turn upfield, as soon as possible. If you can get away from that corner and safety, you can get turn up before he can get to you, man. You can take it to the house.
Yep. 1st and 10. And this is Tayshawn Williams straight up the middle into Oologah territory. And he will pick up first down yardage across the 45 to the 43-yard line. And you just get this sense, Leland, that the Bulldogs are getting into this rhythm, and they finally settled in and say, all right, enough's enough.
Oh, yeah, they got the offensive rhythm going here. Good tempo going.
1st and 10 from the Mustang 43. Charbonneau hands off to Tayshawn Williams again. Williams puts his shoulder down, and he'll be met at the 39-yard line. He's still going to pick up about 4 on the play, but
he's tapping out. Tayshawn's a little.
It's like, Coach, come on now.
Yeah, he is. I don't see Trent down there. Trent's kind of leaving him out to dry. I'm going to say this is going to be a pass play.
2nd and 7, Charbonneau.
Oh.
Pressure put on, and he almost gets it out to Williams. And Williams probably giving proof there that they should have pulled him out.
Yeah, he was definitely ready to go over to the side there.
So number 16, Trenton Edward, back in to the lineup. It was an incomplete pass. 3rd and a long 6. Go ahead and call it 7, just inside the 40-yard line of the Mustangs. Edward in motion.
Top there. Oh, come on, slip screen again. Oh.
I think the Mustang may have gotten a piece of that.
Yeah.
It came out a little weird.
Yeah, it's like they might have attempted.
James, okay, I see. It's just 89. I knew it was really close. So the Bulldogs actually are going to send the punt team out on the field with lost yardage, about 4 on that play. It'll be 4th and 11 now from the 44. And Leon, I'll be honest, and it may be just a farce, but I'm a little surprised they sent the punt team out.
Yeah. Coach Condick, I'm telling you, he's
not afraid to take chances.
He's not afraid to take chances, and it was always kind of funny to us. I was part of the offensive staff, and we go for it. You kind of look over there at the defensive staff, and they're looking at us like, "What are you guys doing? What's going on? What's going on?" Hey, that's part of the thing that makes Dale special. He'll riverboat gambler, man. He'll take his chances.
So the Bulldogs will take a 5-yard delay of game penalty. The ball will be placed at the 49, and now it's no doubt that they'll punt it away. Balong gets the punt away. It had to have. And the way number 50 for the Mustangs reacted to that, I think it hit him.
Yeah.
And number 5 able to pounce on it. But the Mustangs will be pinned back to their 13-yard line, trying to put something together here.
Yeah.
To go into halftime. It's much time of possession that the Bulldogs have had. The Mustangs are pretty fortunate to only be down really 2 scores.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they have to actually feel pretty good at where the game is right now, and I'm sure the Bulldogs are the ones that aren't, pleased at what's happening right now. But let's see if we can go ahead and get us a quick 3 and out, get the ball back, go score.
1st and 10, Mustangs from their own 18. Quarterback rolling to his right, pressure put on. Oh, that ball came through. And Miller is on the quarterback, forced the fumble, and looks like the Mustangs.
Looks like they got him.
Okay, number 42, Gavin Miller in the backfield, forcing that fumble. And Oologah is able to regain possession, but they're going to lose about 7.
Oh, they called it intentional grounding.
Oh. Huh. Okay. Didn't see that one.
I didn't. I didn't think he threw the ball. I thought it got popped out. Oh, if that's the case, well, they will be backed up.
Well, I tell you,
or actually,
probably was hoping that it was called a fumble because now they're backed up to the 6-yard line. Now they'll call it just inside the 7, and now we're going to have a 1st and long for the Mustangs, where it would have been about 2nd and 11, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that call.
Now we've got
the phone.
Now it's pretty much 2nd and 20, pretty close to 2nd and 20. Ball at the 7-yard line now.
Oh, I thought I saw the ball come out again.
The defensive line for the Bulldogs, number 56, Von Holt, and number 54, Harris, making the tackle for the Bulldogs. We're under 5 minutes, or actually, sorry, we're under 6 minutes, actually at the 5.5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Appreciate all of you who have logged on. Again, if you want to be a part of the viewer count and the chat room, be sure to go to the Wagoner versus Ulaga stream as a quarterback rolling to his left, looks downfield. He had the man there, but he had to drop it in just right as Miller was on the coverage.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting underneath that. You know, sometimes the outside backer's responsibility on the pass is to underneath that underneath the deep out or the curl flat area and kind of disrupt pass there.
So he got it over Miller, but that meant it was over his receiver as well.
Yeah.
So now we've got the down marker still says 4th from a while. Now I guess it is 4th now.
Well, if the kick was, he
That
might
is
take it.
a long.
I'm telling you, got to watch McFarland here.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
boy, there's all kinds of flags coming in. That one coming in from the far
I don't know if
sidelines.
they're getting us on a hold here. Again.
Well, the way I see Decaden Ford way into the Mustang bench, and I'm wondering if this is going to be a little extracurricular activity here.
Oh.
We're waiting on the call. Having a little bit of conference right at the numbers on the far side of the field.
It looks like we're thinking it's on us because we're backing up.
Well, it's just always odd when where the flag comes from.
Yeah.
And this time it was way on the other side of the action.
Yeah, and as coaches, we would really get upset whenever a flag is thrown somewhere that's far away, that's not even involved in the play. But I understand. I mean, if something's obvious, you got to call it. But
right.
Sometimes you're like, that didn't have anything to do with the play.
Another holding call against Wagoner, which that's about the only penalties that we've had. We've had several, but they've all been holding.
Yeah, basically, I told you I probably have a lot of good stories about us at Ulaga. Well, we played Ulaga here one year, and ironically, one of the coaches on the staff, Austin Condick, son of Dale, was playing guard for us back then, and big game there. We ended up winning it, of course, but we had a holding call on him that Dale totally lost it on. Ulaga player actually tackled him while he was trying to block another guy, and he got the holding.
Little razzle-dazzle.
A little trickery here. Didn't quite work out.
McFarland loses his footing.
Ooh, I thought they were probably going to get us for
I saw that as well.
I don't know. I kind of think the kid was flopping there.
Okay. Well, the way that the sideline on the far side reacted, they were thinking that it was going to come too.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of action there and no gain on the play.
Yeah.
At the 49-yard line of the Mustangs, Charbonneau flushed to his side. Now finds his man. Decaden Ford makes the catch.
Boy, he would have caught that cleanly. He might have went and scored.
Yeah. He does pick up first down yardage to the Mustang 37-yard line. So the Bulldogs looking, as we get to the 4-minute mark, looking to widen this gap going into halftime right now with a 16-0 lead. This time is Trenton Edward. Edward not able to get up to full speed, but even with that being said, still picks up 4, maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, nice little surge there by the offensive line.
We'll call it a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. The ball is at the 33-yard line. Carla Johnson-Smith, thanks for logging on, watching from Taylor's Ferry tonight. And here's Trenton Edward spinning, looking for first down yardage. It's going to be close. And they've given him the first. I thought I saw the signal.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, there it is. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The ball is at the Mustang 27-yard line. Bulldogs already back up to the line of scrimmage for the next play. Here's Charbonneau. Looking to his left, finds his man. That's Matson Swanson.
Job.
And good tackle by number 5 for the Mustangs. For we know Swanson is very elusive and a whole lot of speed.
Oh,
Had he
yes.
gotten out of that, he was in for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. Good job of catching that, spinning out of it. And really good tackle by the Uganda defender there.
Second and 1, just shy of first down yardage. Here's Charbonneau over the left side, makes a couple of moves, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, Charbonneau, and it looked like he just kind of glided through there.
You know, when he gets in the secondary, I think a lot of those guys out there kind of really are really thinking like, do I really want to try to tackle him right now?
Yep.
Even
not being at full speed, you still having that doubt.
Oh yeah. My boy, live to fight another day and go ahead and let him have that one.
So the Bulldogs, with a 22-0 lead, Belong will try to make it 23. Swanson on the hold. Stroud on the snap. The hold. The kick is up and good. Wagoner 23. Oolaga 0. 2:48 left in this first half.
Now, then you better watch out for Dale Connick here. he might want to try to do a little something tricky here to try to get one more in, try to extend this thing at halftime so we can, go to the second half and be a little more relaxed.
Now, I said that was Colt Stroud down there on the snap, but they may have left. They may have left Griffin in there. I say he 75 was coming off the field, and I don't see 60. So maybe.
I'll watch 60 right there. Yeah, I didn't notice when it came off.
We'll have to check that out. As at least if you're a Bulldog fan, you're hoping we're going to have another opportunity to check.
I'm sure we'll have some.
As we near the 300 mark again, if you want to be counted in the viewership, which we do, we want you to be up there, and because we want to make sure that our FNB sponsors know that, hey, the people are watching because of you, and we thank our sponsors. We'll talk more about them at halftime, as looks like it's going to be Rhett Butler on this kickoff, and he's going to placement pooch. They're going to let it bounce, and luckily, for the Mustang fans, it bounced right into the player's gut.
Boy, that's
and just very dangerous.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. As you said earlier, let they hit the ground because it could actually bounce back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does,
which is what happened last week.
Yeah,
and I believe it was Bo McFarland. Just he didn't even have to go to the ground for it. It just right there in his gut,
right there. Yeah, so yeah, we would definitely teach our guys on those high pooches to get underneath it, and a lot of times just fair catch it.
Yes. So with 2:45 left in this first half, the Mustangs will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 30. Quarterback rolls to his right, a quick hit in the flat. That's Charbonneau on the tackle. And I was just about to ask you, Coach, if you're in Oolaga's position right now, being 23 down, into your, not great field possession, do you just run out the clock, or you try to do something here?
No, I think you're still going to try something again. Last game of the season, you just no need. I guess you'll probably be cautious. Just try to do everything we can to try to score.
Yep.
And stay in the ball game. So,
Daryl Collins, thanks for logging on. Cheering on the Bulldogs. And Daryl, I believe, is about an 87 grad from Wagoner, if it's the Daryl Collins I'm thinking of. Oh. And that's number 1. The way he reacted to that first spin, I thought he fumbled.
I did too. I thought it came out. Oh, we got another player now.
Is that?
Wow, I think that's Avens.
No, that's McHenry.
Well, I'm saying it was Avens' replacement.
Oh, okay.
So that's not good.
Number 1, Styling McHenry. He's back up on his feet, and he's going.
Well, I do. Avon is up here on the sideline walking. He might be going back in. Yep,
okay.
He is.
No, I saw him squirt the magic water on his ankle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what kind of rehab juice he's got in that bottle, but he sprayed it on his ankle and hopped back out there again.
Well, soccer, they always talk about the magic spray that they spray on the players. We got some magic water down there.
Yeah, we back in my days of being a track coach, I don't know. Some of this might get me in trouble, but there were some ointments and things that we had found that we put on kids to try to get them back a little bit sooner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say probably would work on a horse.
Well,
But
some home remedies.
yes, but I don't know. I'm just saying there might have been a chance we actually used some of that back in the day. So
Well,
like none that come back on me.
not to get controversial or anything, but sometimes I would trust the word of a farmer over.
Yeah, that's right.
At least the ones that I know are very trustworthy, and they've got some. They may have some weird concoctions, but they'll swear by them.
Yeah, there's a lot of home remedies out there that really work.
So it'll
Not
be
FDA approved. They work.
a 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs after that injury timeout from the 36. 1:53 left. And here's that little shovel pass that we saw earlier in the first quarter, and that's going to be good enough for first down yardage for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I noticed they here on defense they moved McFarland back to safety, from his normal outside backer spot.
Okay.
Now I think he's going back now. Now they got Henry back out there. That just shows you what kind of versatile high school player he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
outside linebacker, free safety, so does a lot.
So it looks as though the Mustangs are trying to move the ball here, of course, but they're not in any hurry to get back up to the line of scrimmage with the next play.
Yeah, at this point, I think after this play, they might I think they might be very content now to say, okay, let's just go ahead and run this thing out.
Yeah.
Go regroup.
Because I'm pretty sure they still have their full complement of timeouts, or at least 2 left.
Yeah.
And they have shown no indication of calling that. The quarterback is actually to the sidelines talking to his coaches
Oh, yeah.
as the clock runs.
He's letting that sucker run down as far as he can and then go ahead and call a timeout. Then see if they can.
Sarah,
try to run one.
Saray Davis, thanks for logging on. I know she's a Wagoner grad. I won't give your ear away there, Saray. Jason Miller, if that's the Jason Miller I'm thinking of, he's watching from Edmond. Jason Miller, a 91 grad. Jason, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if this is the wrong Jason Miller I'm talking about, but he wore number 43 back in the day. I have no idea why I remember that, but Jason, like I said, you can verify that. He was a Bulldog back in the early 90s.
Hey, I see Kevin Swanson's giving us a shout out here, giving me a shout out, and Kevin, boy, you're talking about a huge Bulldog backer right there. He was there for us. They won back in the day, and he's a great supporter of our program. It's unplayed.
Yeah, his boy Dusty.
Team. So,
speaking of numbers, if Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he wore 51, if I remember correctly. And their daughter Abby was I believe one of the equipment managers and water girls for the team as well. And Kevin and Shannon Swanson from those early championship years, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So we're at 290 now, getting ever so close to the 300 mark. If you're on that other stream, it just says Wagoner. Skip on over here to the Wagoner versus Oologah. Be a part of our conversation if you'd like. And we've run that clock down to 27 seconds now. This second quarter, it's a 3rd and 13, and that'll be a handoff straight up the middle. And probably going to call.
Yeah, we got a timeout here.
Okay. All right. So
we'll make them.
Wagner. Why not? Wagner going to take a timeout on a 4th and 8. You never know what can happen. And we call it special teams for a reason.
Oh yeah.
There's some crazy things that can happen during that time.
Oh yeah. Now here's if we have a block set up that we've been working on, we might see them go after it here and see if they can get a block punt here.
Brooks Ladd, Brooks middle school student, saying let's go Bulldogs. And Brooks, thanks for logging on. And Billy Bob, you say you're watching from Africa and hope you're not pulling our leg. We've actually had a few viewers. Philip Erasmus actually last year introduced himself to us, and I've seen his comments on a couple of things of watching our girls softball team throughout their season. He was watching from South Africa. And that was starting last year. So, Billy Bob, if you're watching from Africa, I want you to give us another verification of that. We appreciate you logging on. Missy Chavez. Missy, if it's the Missy I'm thinking of, longtime Wagner resident, and her and Brian, and I believe I'm living in McAllister now, watching Bulldog football.
Oh, we went after it. We're going to get it. Hey, this is a good return.
Yeah.
Kick right here.
Here's
McFarland. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Now he's got a walk belly. It's look at this. Oh, and this time is. I'm telling you, this is amazing.
They had him. There was eight Mustangs down there. Had him
ball boxed in, and he found some way to get out. I'm telling you, that kid just makes plays.
The punter was just able to slow him up enough to where the pursuit caught him, or he would have been dancing in the end zone.
Oh,
when he went down, I immediately looked at the clock because I was thinking, maybe it was So that's going to be the end of the first half. Wagner Bulldogs 23, the Oologah Mustangs 0. If you're just now joining us, the Bulldogs really have dominated this whole half, even though it's kind of weird to say, Leland, that even though the score may not show it, but I mean, it's 23-0.
Yeah, it's total domination first half, but it just the points don't show it. So, but we just had a little turnover there at the very beginning, and just wasn't in sync. But we kind of got a rhythm going there towards the end. So I bet here in the second half they're going to really be a little aggressive right at the end and try to go ahead and extend this lead, so they can try to get some of those guys out for an injury. So
yeah,
all in all, decent half, but I'm sure there's some things they definitely want to clean up.
Dennis and Sandy Patrick watching from Chicago, or reminding that Bryce is his grandson. When Bryce is out there on offense, he wants us to make sure that we're giving Bryce that lead block status. He's out there like Moose Johnston back in the Cowboys glory days. And even kind of has the build of him. Got that neck brace that kind of covers up his neck a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Steele, the senior fullback and linebacker from wears number 32. Missy, okay, Durant. All right, I needed to go a little bit further south than McAllister, down in Durant. Mike Burrell, I know you know him, Leland.
Surprised he's not here.
Well, that's what he said. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, but he's still cheering on the Dogs from home. Mary Ann Swingle, watching from Seattle. Thanks for logging on, Mary Ann. And Rictus, thanks for the shout out, as we appreciate everyone that's logged on tonight. And okay, Kevin, I thought so. All right, so Ichiro from the Seattle Mariners. That's why they picked 51 for Dusty.
Oh, okay, and I got you.
Kevin, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, random numbers stick with me.
Yeah,
and I just remembered Dusty wearing 51 for whatever reason. So he may even. Dusty was one of the 2 years that I coached 7th grade football, and he may have been wearing 51 even back in that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got better memory than I do when it comes to the numbers here. Man, I'm going through so many players, I can't remember everything. I can't remember a lot of them, so I'm trying here.
So we're at halftime here, and I don't know, Leland, you and I just may talk to Bulldog fans through the whole halftime. It doesn't look like the Wagner Bulldog marching band will be on the field. They are kind of gathered here, but I don't see any instruments in their hands.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to perform. I guess looks like Oologah will after these cheerleaders, but it doesn't like our band's going to perform. So.
All right, Rictus says the Wagner Pizza Hut crew's watching tonight. So got slapping those pizzas in and out of the oven and got it up on the TV. And I don't know if that's throughout the Pizza Hut where the customers are actually watching, but hello from Oologah, Oklahoma, and thanks for logging on. to Friday Night Bulldogs. But Leland, you're talking a little bit about at the very beginning of the game, right before of your coaching years, and the many battles that you've had with particularly this team, and there have been a lot of there's a lot of history between these two
Oh
teams.
yes, lot of history. Pretty sure Oologah, we were probably not their favorite place. To lose 3 state championships in a row to the same team, that would
Right.
be unbearable. But yes, we've had a lot of great battles with them. You know, back in those days of that run of 48 straight, you know, we it actually was a good thing. We had the pleasure of having them and Cassia Hall both in our district, which was actually a good thing because our toughest opponents that we were going to see throughout the playoffs, we were going to play them in district play. And we had 2 out of those 3 years in a row that we won. That we played Cassia Hall in the semifinals and played Oologah in the finals. And you know, and they were our, you know, we finished first, and Oologah finished second, and Cassia Hall finished third in that district. So,
Right.
so we had a lot of good battles, but especially Oologah had a lot of great players back then. None probably more infamous than Brock Martin,
Sure.
who actually went and played at OSU, and I believe was for all conference, Big 12 conference football player. And boy, he gave us some fits.
Hey, yeah.
And you know, one of my favorite story about him is the fact that so we played them in 15. Um, we played them in the regular season and handled them pretty good, but boy, we played them in the state finals, and they gave us a great effort, man. It was a very exciting game, and you know, we ended up scoring that towards the end of that game to win, past Nakia Jones. But
Yep.
earlier in that game, there was a really big play. You know, we couldn't. Man, he was that night. We had a hard time blocking Martin. And passing, we didn't have enough time to get a lot of passes off to a wide receiver back then. So on a play, we noticed that Brock Martin's helmet came off. And so back then, when helmets came off, you had to exit the field. Like the player had to come off the field. So his helmet comes off, and I mean, in the headset, everybody's screaming, "He's leaving! He's leaving! And Brock Martin's off the field! He's off the field!" He said, "You gotta throw it." So as soon as he exiting the field, we called post route to Nakia Jones.
Yeah.
Now he was not open because on that pass play, there was 3 guys totally surrounding him. I don't know if you remember this play. You couldn't even hardly see him.
I do.
And the ball came, and all of a sudden he just jumped up, you know, higher than all 3.
Yep.
And pulled it down on a big pass play. And it might have been a third down, third and long on that play too. And we just threw it up, and were able to get down there and score in position. And another thing about that week, we had lost that season. We had lost AJ Freeth. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
He lost him in, I believe, a first round playoff game. Actually, I think it might have been one of our last games of the season. We might have lost him right before it started, or it was a first round playoff. But so, you know, Nakia Jones and Freeth together were they were a nightmare.
Right.
You know, you kind of had a hard time. Well, once we lost him, a lot of teams would double Nakia Jones.
Right.
So we actually worked on a set where we lined him up in the backfield and we motioned him out where they couldn't double him.
Okay.
If you motion somebody out like that, it's extremely difficult for a team to be able to adjust because they don't know where he's going to go.
Right.
And just that week, it was a state championship game. You know, we thought, hey, maybe this is something we ought to try. And we worked on it all week. And lo and behold, you know, we got down there around like the 5-yard line, and it was 4th and goal. And we knew that would be the perfect opportunity to do it because we knew if we lined them up, they would have somebody in his face, somebody over top. And we motioned them out, and it really caught them off guard. And they really didn't know what to do. He was single covered, threw it up, made a great play.
The rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history, man. That was a very emotional season. You know, we were going through Austin Connick, his battle with cancer that year.
And with the same year, I think Marshall McKinney as well.
Yes, Marshall. Yeah, he was going through his battle, and actually the season was documented. So
yeah, that's right.
That was another thing that just was on top of it all. It was a storybook ending.
Yeah.
And but with the Ulaga, it's a lot of battles. And fortunately, in 16, that was just a year where we were just. I'm just going to admit it. We were just better than everybody
Yeah.
else. And
Yeah.
Malcolm Rodriguez was a quarterback, and I'm sure everybody listening knows Malcolm. Having a great career with the Detroit Lions right now.
Yep.
And we just pretty much dominated that whole year. And the Ulaga game, the score, I can't remember what the score was. It wasn't like a big blowout, but we totally dominated that football game. Very fortunate. And like I said, that Brock Martin, man, and the funny thing is that, of course, Malcolm and Brock end up going to OSU and end up becoming really, really good friends.
Yes.
I think they were roommates at one point. So kind of funny how all that happens. And he's our biggest rival.
So let me back up a little bit. I think it would have been the 2015. You're talking about Cassia Hall being in the district. If I remember correctly, was that the last loss that we had before we went to 48 straight?
Yes, I think you're right.
Okay,
it was. Yeah, we
because there was
lost
a big
the game.
There was a big controversy on whether, I think it was Freeth, whether he stepped out of bounds or not.
We were playing them at Cassia Hall and got a pass down our sideline, and he caught it and was tiptoeing the sideline and dove into the end zone, which was a apparent score, and referee said he stepped out. Well, and ironically, it might have been Kevin Swanson. He took photographs all the time for us on the sideline, and I believe he had a photo of Freeth on the sideline. You could clearly see that it was green between him and
Kevin. If you're still with us, you verify that. I'd almost put $100 bill on that. You're right.
I think he was the one that took the photo. And if any of you guys know Kevin, he definitely let the referee know that it was a big mistake. But so we
he just sent him. He just sent him a text, right?
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. Just sent him a text.
Surely not. He wouldn't do that kind of thing. So we end up having the ball inside the 5, and they just had a great goal line stance on us.
Well, I remember that game well. Is actually myself and Ben McFarland. We had kind of come out of retirement. We Friday Night Bulldogs. We had done the first 3 or 4 years together, and then kind of stepped away. And some others had come in, and then we stepped in again. And we were at Cassia Hall at that time. And of course, we're sharing the Watergate story and all, or Showergate story and all that. And then that happened, and of course, that just adds to the whatever you want to call the legend, I guess. What a bad legend. There's a word for it. Anyway. So we had plenty to talk about that night. And then, again, we went on to lose that game, and then literally 48 straight after that.
Yeah. And it was a turning point for us because we at that point, we knew we had a good football team, and we just very unfortunate on some things that were happening just coming up close. That year, we were actually experimenting with a new offense. And it kind of took us a little while for us to perfect it. We figured it all out, and I think after that game, Coach Connick gave a pretty good emotional speech to the team to just let them know, guys, we're really close. We're really close, and we've got a chance of being a very good football team if we can just keep this thing going. And we never look back after that. And that was. Sometimes people ask me about all the different state championships and what they mean, and they all it's weird, they all have their own special place,
Right.
And that's definitely one that's special because that was one where I'm thinking no one besides everybody that was in that locker room and our little fans. I don't think anybody else thought we could get there. So we're excited about that.
Leland, the wind's picking up here, and I know in our headsets it's just like, wow, we can barely hear, but it actually, for whatever reason, it doesn't come across at all. So the fans are still been able to enjoy that even with the wind picking up. But you mentioned that everything has something special about each individual state championship, and of course the first one is always going to be special just because it's the first one.
Yeah.
But that's probably between that one and then the Kia Jones in the end zone.
Yeah.
Those probably two are the ones that stick out most. And just going back to the 2011, that was at OSU,
Oh, yeah.
Stillwater, the stadium, the atmosphere there. Of course, Kevin Peterson had a huge game.
Oh, had a tremendous game.
And then of course the year before that we had gone and fell victim to
lost to Douglas.
Douglas,
And I say this, sometimes you take good lessons and losses. And that first year when we played Douglas, the mindset of the kids we got there, we were walking around the field taking pictures and just kind of in awe, and then we ended up losing it, and it was very, very painful, and there was a lot of tears in the locker room, and again, I know Coach Connick, he has a lot of good emotional speeches and a lot of good things, and I know he looked at me and tears in both of us, tears in our eyes, and he said, "I'm not coming back here and losing again." He said, "I'm not. This is not going to happen again. We're coming back and winning it." And it made our team focused that next year, man. We were focused, and when we got to Stillwater that time, there was no picture taken, there was no in awe. Our kids walked the field back and forth, got in the locker room, and taped up, and they were ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah, and that championship game was probably the most physical I think we'd ever played. I mean, it was a physical night, just getting after them, and I do remember we
against the Tornadoes again.
Against
Tornadoes.
And at the very beginning,
6 or 7 years after that first encounter.
Yeah, and we had an early turnover in that game, and they got the ball, and our defense, 3 and out, and I remember after that 3 and out, Dale turned and looked at me and said, "They can't beat us." He said, "We're better." He said, "We're better than them. We're more physical than them. They can't beat us." And sure enough, we just totally dominated that game. So, and great big hit in that game, TJ Pond.
Oh yeah,
I've
seen the picture several times.
Yeah, it's a big picture hanging up in the stadium right now. Quarterback, I thought I did not think the quarterback was going to be able to play for the rest of that game the way his leg was turned up underneath him.
Yep.
But, he was able to shake it off. Big, gigantic hit.
That was year 3, I believe, for Friday Night Bulldogs. Started in 2009. Of course, that was 2011. We weren't able to provide video, but we were able to do audio throughout that game. And LJ Kangas, he was with us last week, original member of the FMB crew. He videoed. Of course, we couldn't do it live, but he videoed that 86-yard touchdown run of Kevin Peterson, and he was able to splice the audio of the live audio with the video. And I posted that last year in our Friday Night Bulldogs page during the state championship week. And I'll do that again this year. As we see some of the comments coming across. Beth Brown was talking about that catch from Nakia, just that game from Nakia, just talking about how amazing he was. And she also said that she remembers you proposing at the field.
That was a pretty funny one too. Well, and it's funny, Les and I talked about this just the other day. But I had told her a lot of her family that I was going to propose. Well, the way it started, we were all in the locker room, the coaches in the coach's office, and I pretty much told them I'm definitely going to marry Leslie one day, and they said, "Well, why don't you just propose to her? Why don't you just propose to her here?" And I was saying, "That's not a bad idea." So we fixed it up on our scoreboard that he's going to say, "Will you marry me?" And we were going to had it all planned. The players, I think we kind of let some of the players in on it. We were going to, after we got in our huddle, after we always do traditionally after the game and get the huddle, and I was just going to say, "Hey, this is such a great night. I want to make it even a better night and do it well." Unfortunately, we lost that game. So after the game, our family's all down on the field, and I'm thinking in my head like, "Wow, this totally ruined all of my plans. So what am I going to do?" And but I still got down on one knee and made the best decision of my life.
There you go.
Yeah.
So definitely in all ways of the phrase, bittersweet.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
there
we're
we
back
go.
on. Yeah.
So we thank everyone for indulging us through this halftime as the teams have just now been on the field for about a minute or two. We're getting ready for this second half action as the buzzer is fixing to sound to start the third quarter. Emma Swearingen posted on the line our page, Go Dogs, and Sherry Moody. Go Dogs! Thanks for logging on, and everybody else that's with us. And here's a name that you'll recognize. It says, "Don't bring up 2010." LOL. That's Dalton Self.
Oh, man. Oh, dog.
Cody Young. Cody graduated a couple of years back. When we were talking about the first half and the domination, he said it was a low scoring domination.
Yeah,
I was
there
like,
you
you
go.
know what? That's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah. With Dalton Self, I do have to, he probably doesn't want me to tell this story. How he was one of the first kids when I came here to interview, when the first when Dale invited me to come on down. He was one of the first kids. Actually, well, I'd say after I got hired, he's one of the first kids that I came in contact with. He's a little seventh grader, if you can imagine that, and walked up to me and we're handing out equipment, and he says, "Hey, do you got my britches?" And I looked at him and said,
I could absolutely hear him say that.
What was that? My britches. I said, "These are my football britches. It's all your football fans." Oh, here you go. So, yeah. So he was my first experience of Wagner.
What in the world did I get myself into?
They said, "Stop."
Now here's the second half kickoff. Along. That will be fielded at the 10-yard line from the Mustangs. Across the 30.
Good return.
Yeah, to the 36-yard line. Looks like it's number 13 and number 34 down. Also, Klinger, number 19. 13 is Love, and number 34 is Garen Arnold.
All right.
Making the tackle. The Mustangs will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 36. Hammond's 29. Thanks for logging on. That might be Doug. Doug is a classmate of mine, now works with us here at the middle school. So, Doug, hope everything's going well as we start this second half. A handoff straight up the middle. And the Mustangs just trying to get something positive going on. And if they can establish something here on this first drive of this second quarter or this second half,
Yeah.
they could still be in this game.
Yeah, it still be a ball game here. So they probably just want to definitely take their time and kind of get down here and get some points on this.
I want to give a shout out to Amy Cantrell and loving the conversation for halftime from Coach Alexander. Part of that storied history of Wagner football, that 2014, 2015, 2016 state championships, even that 2011 from the first one, and then even the 2020 one.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
okay.
2020. Yeah, that was a good one too.
And so the Mustangs have a first down from the 48-yard line, and I want to thank everyone for indulging us through our little trip back in memory lane over halftime show. And the Mustangs, not much on that carry, as it was McFarland and Harris on the stop for the Bulldogs. I'll give them a forward progress to the 49. It'll be 2nd and 9.
God's still not in any kind of rush here.
No.
Just trying to make sure they're getting some good plays here where they can establish a drive.
See more and more blankets and coats coming out.
On my ball.
The 20, 10, touchdown, Mustangs. Number 6 looked like he was shot out of a cannon there.
Yeah, he has some good speed there.
Once he busted that first line of defense, it was all Sam Hogue as a cheat off the made one move, and then it was all him Sam Hogue. I was cheating off the PA announcer here and heard that name. If I remember correctly, I believe that might be the superintendent's son.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. So showing that he's got plenty of speed and goes for 51 yards and a touchdown. And there's the extra point. Wagoner 23, Ulaga 7. We're 2 minutes and 2 seconds into this third quarter. And Leland, we were just talking about if Ulaga could establish something here. So as of right now, they're still not going away.
Yeah, they made us a ball game now. So I now, we're talking about us kicking a lot of onside kicks and tricks. I mean, if Ulaga's got one,
Yeah.
this might be the time to go ahead and throw that out there.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Coach Connick, knowing him, he's down there, talking to him about that right now.
9:58 is on the clock. If you're just now joining us, that was the first drive of the second half as the Mustangs put together about a 75-yard drive there over the course of about 4 plays, ending with a 49-yard, from the 49 of their 49 for a 51-yard touchdown run. And now all of a sudden, the Mustangs have a breath of life.
Watch out here. It could be,
On a short pooch kick.
Oh, the wrong guy.
No, don't kick it to McFarland.
Don't kick it to him.
And he has a pretty good return for as short a kick that was.
Yeah.
Gets it to the 43-yard line. And Damian Eubanks, watching from Wagoner. Damian and I played together for the Wagoner Bulldogs back in the early 90s. Damian, thanks for logging on. M.W. Duck is a regular for Friday Night Bulldogs. Cody Young had talked about wanting to know what this first round of playoffs is looking like.
I was looking that up. Unfortunately, the teams that can decide this aren't playing tonight.
Oh, okay. They'll be playing.
Now, Ada and Salazar are playing, and they're playing for winner take all down there in that South.
Here's a quick hit to Ford. Makes one tackler miss. Not able to get out the second one, but still able to get positive yardage to almost the 45-yard line.
So what I looked at earlier, looks like Broken Bow and Poto will be playing. I believe the winner of that probably will be the one that we play. But there's some other little scenarios in there that can be thrown in.
Here's Tristan Edward trying to bust it to the outside. And number 47 makes a tackle for the Mustangs. Edward to the 46-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 6 as the Mustangs, you can tell right now they're trying to get a pep. They're trying to get a pep in their step.
It's a big down.
Third and 6, Charbonneau.
Oh, nice throw.
That is a nice throw and an even nicer catch from Coleman. That was all hands.
Yeah, that's how you want to do it. Hands, don't let it hit the chest and bounce off. Nice route right there, too.
Kind of a backside slant as all the motion looked like it was coming left and looked back right. And Coleman makes a great grab. Here's a pitch out to Tristan Edward.
Ooh, nice little move there.
Edward is ridden out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And just when you think that that the opposing defense has the angle, somehow Edwards just makes a little move and then turns on the speed.
Yeah, the little stutter there right there kind of froze that guy, and he was able to get the advantage and get to the outside.
Because he was well behind the line of scrimmage, and now he turned that into a 3-yard play.
Yep.
Game. Edward again, make the tacklers miss. Finally tackled at the 21-yard line, and you get the sense that this drive right here by the Bulldogs kind of a statement drive.
Yeah, got to reestablish everything.
You got away with one, and now we're going to put you away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of football to play, but the Bulldogs are just marching down the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Got trips to the top of your screen. Charbonneau with the delayed handoff. And that is number 74. We talked about that front seven, and they made the play there.
Yeah. And as I said, I talked to the coaches earlier. They said they have some good defensive ends. Man, that big guy, he crashed down pretty hard there. He's probably got a read where he's going to either take quarterback or back on that, and he right there, he just about tackled both of them.
Yeah. So it's a loss of 4 back to the 25-yard line. Here's Charbonneau. Throws it out to his right, and that is the Caden Ford. Gets most of that yardage loss on the previous play back, and then maybe a few more. Well, actually, yeah. It was just a long pass. The opposite end of the field, but that was actually only a pickup of about 2, so it's 3rd and 12 from the 23-yard line. Charbonneau looking to the sideline. It looks like they may be changing the play here. Trips to the bottom of your screen, and it's Coleman at the top of your screen. Here's Charbonneau looking left, finds his man. Oh, still makes the catch. That's Swanson. And he had to take 3 or 4 stabs at it.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 tries, but he finally pulled it in.
That's going to be close to 4 first down yards. It's actually
Really
going to show
like we're bringing in
the
big guys here.
They're going to be
the man of steel just got him.
Okay, here we go. So Dennis and Sandy, I'm sure you guys are still watching. We're probably going to see Bryce leading through that hole. Looks like he's going to go with the tush. Everyone, going to break it out.
Pricked him a little bit there, but Charbonneau was still able to get it.
Boy, he had a lot of time there to decide what he was. Ends up cutting it back to the middle, and it makes more than enough for the first down.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely the. I really hate that term for some reason. It's just let's get the Hogs in there and let them lead the way.
Oh yeah, they kind of tried to psych him out there. As I see it, well, I guess the rule is still in effect. The helmet comes off. You got to come off the field. Charbonneau's helmet came off. So now they had to go ahead. And
McHenry.
McHenry's in there.
So that is number 1, I believe, junior. And they've got him, I think they're listed at 6'4". And, okay, did we take his time out?
Didn't notice who took it. I think it might have been us that took that time out.
The ball is at the 8-yard line. It's a 1st and goal when play resumes. 6:02 left in this 3rd quarter. And we're halfway through, and this is only the 2nd possession of the entire half.
Yeah, that's very true. They're running the football, kind of taking their time, not speeding it up. Just on the other side of it now, Wagoner is just trying to make sure to take their time a little bit, get the right play calls in, and
Kyle Dale logging on. Thanks for logging on, Kyle. And I believe it's Kyle I know came through Wagner Schools. And Coach DJ, had to see you and glad you're able to join us. Says it's never too late to log on. Getting done with basketball practice, and that is DJ Pierce's uncle. And Leland, he's watching from North Carolina.
Oh,
been watching from North Carolina basically since the season started. Actually, before that in softball, because Josiah is his niece.
Yeah, I've definitely heard you say his name several times on these live streams.
Glenda Gray. I hope that's in a good way. She's wanting to know who the announcers are. So you are watching Friday Night Bulldogs. We've got Garrett Haddock behind the camera and computer. I'm Jeremy Holmes, and I'm with as that loss, 1st and goal, went for a loss. Caden Ford tackled in the backfield, but going with longtime Bulldog coach, now Bulldog administrator, Leland Alexander, next student, and we've been pulling the action all night long as Bulldogs are looking to increase their lead after giving a early 3rd quarter touchdown on this previous possession.
I was going to say, hey, get that new guy off of there.
Here's a 3rd and goal. Whoa, real dangerous.
I tell you what,
I thought he was throwing to Edwards first.
You know what? I kind of thought for a second there. I almost thought it was a hook and ladder.
Oh well, yeah.
I kind of thought that for a second because I know they send Edwards out in motion a whole lot like that, but I almost felt like he was going to catch that.
Now that you mention it,
I'm saying that's a play should be in the playbook. It's there.
So a 4th and goal now, so it'll be belong along from the 17. It'll be a 27-yarder, plenty of leg, and that is up and good. Along 2 for 2 for
He's
field goal.
doing a good job, man. I guess I'm kind of seeing these guys' progression over the season. I know at the very beginning of the season they're not kicking as well as they are now. They've gotten a whole lot better. And I know Alan Severe is he's kind of like a volunteer coach for us and works with the kickers and does a good job.
That's a 32-yarder from all along in the first quarter, and now with a 27-yarder here. Wagoner Bulldogs 26, Bulldog Mustangs 7. 4:48 left in this third quarter. Fred Ingram
Yeah, I seem to have another question about the first round opponent.
Yeah.
It looks it's Poto and Broken Bow are going to play tomorrow. I think the most likely scenario is just the winner of that, but it kind of also depends on some results of some of the other games in the district. It's really jumbled up there. I mean, a team like Broken Bow who got upset by McLean a few weeks ago. They're in a situation where they could win and other teams win and end up second in the district, or they could lose and be totally out.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different scenarios there. But if I was to guess, I would say it would probably be Hodo is who they'll end up playing.
Klinger, Arnold, and Love. Also, I believe that's Blake Smith on the special teams tackle. Rhett Bowler went deep that time.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's switching up on them.
As we have crossed over the 300 viewer mark, Leland, if you want to turn around and wave at the bus, Kaylee Jones said that one of those buses over there is watching. Looked like maybe they got too cold, and decided to watch the rest of the game from the bus. So,
yeah.
Kaylee, everybody else on the bus, thanks for sticking with us.
I'm a little cold too, Kaylee. I would probably sit in the bus if I could, but I wouldn't be able to see the game.
So Gary Rose said looking good except for the penalties, and we're getting playoff ready if we're not all ready. And we've had although this second half we've had no penalties.
Yeah.
So maybe we can fix that at half.
Yeah, I hope so. There we go.
So we're under 4 minutes here at Oologah Stadium. You know what? Cleveland, I didn't catch the actual name of it. It may be the Oologah Stadium.
Yeah, I thought it was called Mustang Stadium.
Mustang Stadium, okay. On a 3rd and 10.
Oh, nice.
And, Von Holt, number 56, Von Holt, getting up in the air, knocked that one down on a 3rd and 10. And just like that, Leland is 3 and out for the Mustangs.
There you go. There's a way to come back and reestablish yourself and take control of this football game again. Hey, somebody got to get out of here. We got one uncovered. There we go. Oh, sorry, the coach in me came out.
Incomplete pass, stopped the clock at 3:25. There's a low end-over-end kick. McFarland has a little bit of a chance, and sometimes you just want to just not want to say anything, just to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, just watch.
Don't want to ruin the moment by talking through it. Anytime McFarland touches the ball, holy cow! You just don't know what's going to happen.
No. Going back to my days of coaching, I remember when I had him in 9th grade. I was offensive coordinator, and we had a corner post route that I put in, and it was Bo's favorite. And I'm telling you, every game he'd come over to me, hey, it's time for the corner post, coach. And I'm telling you, I think he's probably 10 for 10 on that one. He had a lot of every touchdown he had was on that play. He had quite a few.
Tayshawn Williams on the carry. We're just talking about the penalty-free quarter, and
And
one
there we go.
has come in, laying at about the Bulldog 48. Holding, again, the call against Wagoner.
Man, we got to clean up the holding calls.
They will definitely have
It is,
plenty to talk about on film throughout the week as we head into playoff action next week.
Yeah, that is a drive killer in the playoffs. You can't have that happen.
The Bulldogs.
Ball is now at the 39-yard line. 1st and 20 now for Wagoner. Charbonneau.
Oh, coming
That
underneath.
underneath screen to Coleman, and just a little long for him. Again, if you were not aware, probably one of the names that you haven't heard us say, and unfortunately Leland hadn't heard us say for the last 2 weeks, and that's OU commit number 12, Alex Shieldnight.
Yeah, Alex, man, is a great football player, great kid. I really, really do hate that for him. I talked to his mom, and surgery went well, and he's doing well. So, and really in good spirits. But, really, really do hate that for him. So it's going to take the rest of the team stepping up. I mean, he's a vital part of the team.
Yep.
Especially defensively. I think offensively, blocking. He made a lot of big plays catching the football, but I think a lot of people it goes unnoticed of how good of a blocker he was. And but luckily we do have the man of steel, so
Yep.
We definitely had somebody to put in and take the slack up on that. And then on defense, I've noticed they've Winky.
Yep.
They've used him, Javon. They've used him, and he's done a good job.
Charbonneau evading one tackler, and now outrunning the second down the sideline.
Oh.
Holy smokes. We went from about a 5 or 6 yard loss to almost first down yardage.
Oh, actually, we got the first down.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, this sounds weird to say Charbonneau tiptoed, but he tiptoed the sideline right there. And
3rd and 22 was the exact yardage, and looked like he had about 23 or 24.
yeah,
Gets first down to the Mustang 39-yard line, and this is Tayshawn Williams. Tayshawn Williams at the 10. It's finally tackled from behind at the 8-yard line, maybe the 7. And you just get the feeling, Leland, that this could be the dagger.
yeah. He and Trenton complement each other very, very well, because you've got Trenton, who's very elusive and quick. Tayshawn's kind of taking more of the just straight downhill run.
Yeah.
And it's really a good 1-2 punch. And I know the cliche of the term, people use that thunder and lightning.
Yep.
That's kind of how these guys are. He just runs downhill.
Which,
Speaking of running downhill,
here he is. Touchdown Bulldogs, number 4, Cale Charbonneau. And 1:09 left, 32-7 Bulldogs. We talk about that thunder and lightning. We might throw a little quiz ball action up there to our fans of who are the 2 running backs that were considered the starts of the idea of thunder and lightning. I'll give you a hint. If I'm correct, I may be off base here, but I believe they were both playing for the Giants, New York Giants, back in the early 2000s, somewhere around there.
yeah. Oh man, now you're making me think here. Let's see.
As we 309 viewers right now. If we're all on the Wagoner Uga stream instead of just the Wagoner stream, again, I'm not going to go into any detail about that, but be sure to get over to the Wagoner Ula versus Uga stream. It looks like one person already did that. We're down up to 310 now. 109 left in this game. The extra point was good. Wagoner 33, Ulaga 7. And don't think for a minute, Leland, as Brett Butler tees it up at the 40, don't think for a minute that we might not see another outside kick.
It can happen at any moment. I'm telling you.
So anybody got an answer without Googling, by the way, if you got got an answer for us about the original Thunder and Lightning, let us know there.
So it said Gus the Bus there, but I don't think that was one of their answers. He definitely was Thunder back in the day. Oh, look at him.
All right. He's going to field it at the 10-yard line.
faked it.
Okay, yeah. Had me faked out. As maybe they should have went with
Yeah,
that
should have
first.
gave it off.
They tried that early on in the first quarter and was pretty successful.
Definitely was.
And this time it was still a decent return, not quite what they had the first time they ran that reverse on the return, but it'll be Mustang ball at their own 32-yard line.
Mustang Athletics back to take.
Reverse. Oh, underneath.
Outran one, outran two, and then Chris Steele is able to get him out of bounds.
Oh, they called a lay hit on that. Don't like that call.
Huh.
Don't like that call.
I mean, I'll see exactly what went on, but I just kind of thought that it was just the motion that took him into it. And
I think that was a flop.
About that.
Called that on Gavin, and I mean, wow.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about that, but nevertheless, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And I don't know. I feel like that was just making sure he knew he's still there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it wasn't like he had stopped running. I mean, the guy's still. So anyway, well, we're going to add 15 yards there to the Bulldog 32-yard line. Still in the third quarter.
Nice tackle.
And
Man of Steel.
All right, number 32, Bryce Steele, making the tackle, and we got a Mustang. Looks like lineman
51
having trouble getting to the sidelines. It looks like he's in pretty good pain over there.
Yeah.
And the clock stops with 43 seconds. Coach DJ going back, Joe Morris. Yeah, he did play for the Giants, but that might be going back further than what I was thinking.
Would one of those guys' number happen to be 30?
Now we may have to end up Googling this.
Yeah,
we may have to end up Googling this.
Yeah.
I thought I thought one of them was 21. I think one of them was 21 for sure.
I think I've got it.
And well, I'll put it. I'll give another clue. He had a brother.
Yeah, had a
that
twin
played
brother
for another team.
Yes, had a twin brother. Okay, I got you.
So give some clues out there. So had a brother that go ahead and give that team played for the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Now that was the Lightning part.
Yeah,
of it,
he's the
but,
Lightning part.
We still got to think of the Thunder here, and I want to say he wore 27.
Yep, 27.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on the same page now. We're on the same page.
Okay. Coach DJ is going to some college.
Yeah, he's
some
going.
college.
Now that was some Thunder and Lightning too. He's right on that.
There you go, Coach DJ. Coach DJ, Tiki Barber.
There you go, Tiki Barber. You got one of them.
Now, who's the other? Who's the Thunder part of that? As the Mustangs take the ball straight up the middle, it's Bryce Steele and company on the stop.
You got it
for minimal yardage. There you go, Brandon Jacobs. And Tiki Barber was a great running back, and no doubt Lightning. But holy cow, just the sheer size of Brandon Jacobs.
Oh, yeah, he's huge.
He was a monster. And as far as big as he was very nimble.
Oh, yes, definitely. And he had an early fumbling problem in his career, so he was the one that kind of had his own like high and tight running style, holding the football when he ran.
Yes, he did. And that is the end of the fourth quarter. The third quarter. as it seemed like that third quarter went really long.
It lasted for a while.
Wagner Bulldogs 33, the Oulagan Mustangs
That's funny.
7.
Jory Brummett text me the answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He got the Jacobs part.
So, sorry, got a little distracted there. Casey Hanna. And here's what you were thinking when you said 30. I agree, Casey. You went back. Dave Meggett.
Yeah.
Now you want to talk about the return guy, man?
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
He used to give the Cowboys fits.
Oh yeah. Well, us being Cowboy fans, we definitely know about some Dave Meggett.
Don Yates logging in, talking about Ron Dane. That's another one.
That was
Giants for sure.
Yeah, he was a big one too.
Which played his collegiate ball in Wisconsin, I believe.
Yeah, Wisconsin Badgers there.
Chris Lancaster, Becky Coates watching from South Fork, Colorado.
Where we may have stolen our Wisconsin dub. Ours, it's a little different.
How about a 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs as we start this fourth quarter? Did he catch that?
Oh, hit the ground.
Hit the ground. He looked like he might have hauled that in. He was behind the defenders for sure.
He got behind them. So that was really a good throw.
Yeah. On the run and had to kind of square up and kind of hop in the air and just underthrew it a little bit. And it would have been a great catch if he was able to haul it in.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be 4th and 10 for the Mustangs at the Bulldog 31.
Yeah, I talked about all those tricks and everything. You might see them all here in the fourth quarter.
Right.
The annexation of Puerto Rico here in a minute.
4th and 10.
Oh, there it is.
And now we're going back to the quarterback, and he heaves it downfield. And that is going to be incomplete. The receiver was he wanted interference called there.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting to that ball.
No. Well, you weren't going to get that. That's uncatchable.
So the Bulldogs defense holds, gives their offense the ball 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line. Again, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors for Friday Night Bulldogs, the elite sponsors, Shipman Funeral Home, Armstrong Bank, Aspire Health, Our Best Bank, Blue Sky Bank, Smoking Sisters on Dewey, Meats and More, Wagner County Abstract, Al Drug, Bonnie's Flowers, and Smoking Sisters on Main. And Coach Alexander, if you see those corporate sponsors there, and let the Bulldog fans know.
Okay, where did you leave off?
Well, where'd they go? There we go. Start there.
Advanced
Top there.
Orthopedics,
Yep.
Cherokee Personnel, Prestige Plumbing, Good Neighbor Realty, Bro Insurance, Richard Gray, Kevin Grover GMC, where I've bought all my vehicles. They like me a lot there. More Lancaster, Bank First, Apex Tile and Closing, and Beth Johnson, who was actually a former student of mine and ran track for me of Good Neighbor Realty.
Yeah, we thank all of our Friday Night Bulldog sponsors again. If you see these business owners around town, please give them your thanks. As here's a pitch out to Trenton Edwin.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, I think we're going to have another holding call here. But not only thank them when you see them, but thank them with your business. As a lot of these business owners are Wagner grads themselves, just as you talked about Ben Johnson, Rick Moore. And I'd hate to even start mentioning all of them because I don't want to leave anybody out. But many of these Friday Night Bulldog sponsors are Bulldog graduates themselves. And even if they're not Bulldog graduates, they have been longtime Bulldog residents. So
I was about to say, I'm sure they're going to take
Matt
a shot.
Swanson, Matson Swanson was a great over the head. He had to bend back for that.
Oh, he
one.
did. Yeah, it was good. That was good control, body control right there to get to that football. I feel that the Bulldogs right now would love to get a score here really quick,
Mhm.
and then that way they feel they could probably put in some reserves
Yeah.
and kind of coast to the end of this thing.
Yeah, because we're almost at 1 minute into this fourth period. Trenton Edward tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe about a 2-yard gain. Is all right. Don Yates cleared it up for us. It was Ron Dane and Tiki Barber.
Yeah, Ron.
And it
Dane.
was
Oh,
it
okay.
was starting
Okay,
in 2000.
yeah, right.
So I think Brandon Jacobs may have come
Yeah, might
right
come
after that.
Yeah,
So I knew it was Tiki Barber for sure.
yeah. Oh man, I thought I thought a D lineman picked that off right there.
Well, it ended up being Lane Beebe, number 66. Unfortunately, he was in a white shirt.
Yeah,
And I just kept looking for the ball to hit the ground, and I never saw it hit the ground.
yeah.
So kind of waiting on to see what happened with that. 3rd and 9.
Oh, got you to jump.
Yeah, good hard count for Charbonneau and Dax Griffin
A little more manageable here.
anchoring that line along with Anthony Harris, Lane Beebe, Trevor Fowler, and I'm missing one. Who am I missing? Can't think of who I'm missing.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
yeah. They're backed off. I'm saying a hitch route right down here would be pretty easy.
3rd and 4, and that's
there you go.
Anthony Coleman. Coleman still on his feet, and
you go.
finally out of bounds. And
Oh, that's a little extra. No, Coleman. No, don't get caught into it. That's another thing that we're really worried about at the end of the season, because a lot of times we were fortunate enough to have things wrapped up in that last game, and we just worried about teams baiting us and trying to get us to do something stupid and get one of our kids. And we did have that unfortunately happen to us one year. We I don't know if I should say the young man's name, but I don't know if you remember Orlandis. Yeah,
Sure.
We played a game right before the playoffs, and he got baited into it, and we had to end up playing some games without him in the playoffs. But fortunately, we were able to win those games and come back and be part of a championship team. But
Yep.
yeah, they will
Well,
try to get you.
and it's always, and maybe it's just so much easier to see it from the stands of how in the world could you miss what had happened before the actual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, we tell kids that, man, if a kid does it, you retaliate, a lot of times you're the one that gets the flag thrown on you.
Yep.
Because that's the one the referee sees. He just sees you throwing the punch. So just got to be careful.
Bulldogs with the 3rd and 11 from the 30. Charbonneau looks to put this one to bed. Here's that underneath screen to Caden Ford. Ford with near first down yardage. He's right at the sticks, needs to get to the
close.
20, and he's at the 20.
Looks like they like that spot.
They're going,
short.
wow, okay.
Yeah, don't
They're
like
going to mark
that
him
spot.
well. They're going, wow, is that back to the 22?
Yeah, we're out here at 22. Did not like that spot. Wow, man.
Okay. Yeah, so we got a 4th and 2 instead of measuring for a first down. We've got a 4th and a long 2, actually.
Hello.
Charbonneau.
That was
Got it up the middle, and we're going to go from 4th and a long 2 to 4th and a long 12. So
love the concept on that play. Boy, we overloaded over there to the right,
faked that pitch,
and then ran the counter back the other way.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just about to say, now we've ticked just under 300, but we're 826 away from the Bulldogs ending the regular season with a perfect record of 10-0, and plenty of Bulldog fans still here at Mustang Stadium and plenty of Bulldog fans at home to watch the end of this one. And it's really great to say, Leland, that this won't be the first time that the Bulldogs end the regular season with a perfect record.
Yeah, we're definitely fortunate, blessed to say that. We've had a lot of great undefeated seasons, so at least regular seasons.
Wagner takes a timeout to think this one over with a 4th and 12 with 8:26 left. If you're still looking to be a part of the chat room, make sure that Wagner versus Umaga stream, not Wagner, as much as it doesn't make sense. Pick the Wagner versus Umaga stream, and then you'll see everybody popping into our chat room, and you'll see that. I believe you also can see the viewers. But I was looking a little bit in our what they call the analytics of the channel, the YouTube channel, and have the top viewers come from the Tulsa area. Wagner in a distant second, but we've got a lot of viewers in the Oklahoma City and Dallas, Texas area.
Wow, that's
So it's really, really cool to be able to see that. And so we hope everybody is doing well on this turned out chilly Friday night.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was hoping, I was like, man, I hope we'll be inside the press box. And I was like, oh, not. Good thing I brought an extra sweat. Oh, he is wide open. Oh, what a play. Good job.
That is number 2, Decaden Ford. And wow.
Oh,
Late flag coming in. That's
were we
definitely
celebrating?
I mean,
Was that us?
wow,
or
that
them?
was, I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was awful picky if it's against us. It'll be post-possession, so the touchdown will count. We'll see which way this is going to go. A little bit of, what if they're going to call it taunting or what.
Yeah,
Touchdown is good. And it's unsportsmanlike on Wagner. I don't know if anything physical was done. We're not down there to hear.
Yeah, it might have been something that he said.
Okay.
I see him kind of getting on to the gate a little bit. It might have been something he said, but hopefully it was just a 15-yard and not. Sometimes they kick you out for some things, but hopefully that's nothing that happened there. Definitely.
Long on the extra point to try to get to 40. That kick is up, and it is good. Wagner Bulldogs 40. Bulldogs Mustangs 7, 8:18 left in this ball game. And Leland, there were 2 or 3 Bulldogs in the end zone at the time, and I don't know if they actually pointed that out to, but
yeah,
it had to be something that was said.
Yeah, it had to be something.
I didn't see any kind of physical, any gestures or anything like that, or any extra, celebration, whatever you want to call it. So maybe it was on the audio side.
Yeah, it must have been. It would be pretty interesting if they would let the high school kids do like the NFL players, where they get to do all the different celebrations and routines.
Yeah.
It would probably get a little wild if the high school kids do that.
Yeah, for sure. So that penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. So I'm really interested to see what this kickoff is going to be. Because we're kicking off from our own 25. It's Brett Butler out there. So
is he going to try to give it all he's got here? And now, really, if you look at it, there is a real big gap right here in the center.
Yes, it is.
If he could pop it straight over the middle into that gap, it would have been, that's not
To be fair, caught at the 49. Needed a little bit more oomph on that to get it in that hole that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Ulaga will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 49. If you hear a little bit of shaking in our voices, it's
getting a little chilly.
Wind's kind of cutting through.
It's getting a little cold.
As we're outside among the Wagner faithful in the stands. We maybe could have crowded in the press box, but we didn't want to give our coaches plenty of room, and maybe not necessarily physical room, but they needed the audio room.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Coach Bryant, but I don't know if I want to have a hot mic with Coach Bryant. So
Well, and I believe he's is he calling the offensive plays? Okay.
Yes, he is.
And with all these holding calls,
Yeah, he would not. I had the pleasure of when he came over and became offensive coordinator, I was kind of his guy on the field that he talked to and sitting in the plays and everything. So if there was any direct conversation happening, it was usually with me. And when something didn't go right, he had some words. Good to say that he had some words.
Well, I will say that we are next door to our press box, and I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. So fortunately, things haven't gone that bad where we hear some things.
So Andrew, we see he's getting a little irritated with the flags coming in several times in this fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, we're just trying now. Let's just get out of here. And I see we've got several subs out there on the field right now, so we're just trying to get out of here and get out of here healthy.
Steve and Fred also commenting on the amount of flags flying in. We're under the 8-minute
mark.
They
just caught us just a second ago when we were putting in some of our reserves. They caught us too many men on the field a second ago, too.
I do want to give a shout out to, I've been meaning to say this the last couple of weeks. I'll come back to that after this play here for the Mustangs. That's
number 6.
40. It is number 6. We haven't called his name since that last touchdown run. But I tell you, when he gets a full head of steam, he's
got some wheels on him. He can go.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Wanda Gordon. Now, I hope Miss Wanda's still watching, but she has known me way longer than I thought that she had known me. This goes back to when my 2 brothers and I have an older brother that got his driver's license. Here's that Hogue again, bounces to the outside, and he is in for the score, touchdown.
There, I was going to say, I think they just got a block in the back.
Yeah, either that or a personal foul. Yeah, late hit. Flag comes in. The touchdown will stand.
Yeah,
it's the Hogue kid again. That was a 23-yard touchdown run, and we'll wait for the official signal. Touchdown is good, and it's dead ball, personal foul against the Mustangs.
Assessed on the kickoff.
In any event, Hogue, with as little offensive yardage as the Mustangs have had, especially this second half, he's probably nearing 100 yards.
I'll say he has all of it.
That's a 23-yarder and a 51-yarder. There's 74, 75 yards right there. So he's probably nearing 100 yards rushing tonight.
He's got all those rushing yards.
Number 21 with the extra point attempt. That kick is up, and I pushed it left. So the score will remain Wagoner Bulldogs 40, Bulldogs Mustangs 13, 7:04 left in this contest. But so I had my older brother Clint, about 5.5 years older than myself, and then my middle brother Joe is about 3 years older than I am. So Glenn obviously got his driver's license before we did, and this was back when most of the kids today wouldn't believe this, but this is back when convenience stores had video games. And video games, pinball machines, things like that. And so we would always go to the 7-Eleven, and my brother would always take us there. And usually it was him playing pinball, but we really liked to watch him because he was really good at it. And Miss Wanda was the attendant there at one of the 7-Elevens there at Wagoner.
Got to know you guys very well.
And she that was her introduction to the Holmes boys. And here it is 35 years later. We go to church together, and we talk about those days often. Of the Holmes boys coming in and spending their quarters on the pinball machine.
Well, I had the pleasure. I'm from Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and we actually had a really large arcade in my neighborhood.
I remember you telling me about this.
It was called the Enterprise, like Starship Enterprise, and it was a lot of fun. There were many days when we would go there and believe my aunt might be actually listening.
Okay.
And she will remember this. She had a gigantic change bottle in her room when she was off to college. And I'm going to admit this. I used to go in there, and I used to
Statute of limitations probably run out.
I used to raid that thing. Well, I thought she would never figure it out, but she figured it out because I went in there one day, and there was a big sign on it that said "Do not." It was like, "Do not take any more quarters." So I thought she would never figure that out. Play a lot of games on her money.
But there are plenty of our middle school students that are probably scratching. If they're listening right now, they're scratching their heads. Video games at a gas station?
Yeah, what is that?
All they know is going to QT kitchens and getting a whole meal.
They don't know anything about being at an arcade. Somebody's playing the game, and you walk up, you put your quarter on there.
Yeah,
because you know where it's a challenge.
Either that, or you're just hoping that guy or gal wasn't very good because you're going to be there a long time if they were waiting for their quarter to run out.
Oh yeah.
So the Bulldogs going to try. Well, they might be able to run this clock out as we're under 6 minutes now. 2nd and 9 from the 47 of the Mustangs. Tayshawn Williams gets just outside the 45. It'll be 3rd and 7. As it's just a weird moment right now, Leland, is again 40-13. The Bulldogs have dominated from the beginning, but I mean we're still over 5 minutes left in this game.
Yes, it is. As I said, I've just been in these shoes before. Like right now, you're just like looking at the clock, like, man, can this game hurry up and get over?
Yep.
We just need this thing to be over,
Yes,
so we can get ready for the playoffs.
McHenry on a 3rd and 7. He'll take it himself, trying to bust it to the outside, and he'll be sacked in the backfield for a loss to the 49. And no doubt the Bulldogs will trot the punt team out.
Yeah, definitely.
Heather, carry on. Thanks for indulging us with the laughy faces. Coach DJ remembers those days, and he's right. He's always trying. You're always trying to beat the high score and be able to put your initials up there.
Yep, and always come back later and check to see if it's still there.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. We're really dating ourselves here.
Yes, we are. Then I just start thinking about Seinfeld and George Costanza with Frogger.
Yes. There's great games. Great games. That's long punting it away, and it'll roll dead.
Oh, there's a guy that doesn't understand that you need to stay away from the football.
It'll roll dead at the 26-yard line. And, definitely one of the things that the youngsters will laugh at us about. If that's bad enough, they'll laugh about the graphics of those games.
Oh, yeah.
Or the lack of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were like, what is that? I mean, if I showed them Atari football, it would blow their mind. They're like, what in the world?
Well, probably even worse than that is Tank.
Oh, yeah.
Just these little blocks that shoot these little bitty hyphens, really.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, that'd take up a whole afternoon.
Yeah, Pong.
Well,
Yeah, they're like,
well, I say it'd take up a whole afternoon. Actually, our parents would be like, you know what? You've been playing on that long enough. You got to get it outside. And don't come back till dinner.
That's why I said, man, you guys are old.
Well, that's Burrell. What's he talking about?
Oh, well, yeah.
Burrell, you were right there with us, bud.
Yep.
Here's number 1 for the it stays in bounds. A little nice spin move to the Bulldog 35-yard line. Sorry, Heather, it's Holly. Okay, I apologize. I got the carry-on sisters. I got the wrong one. So
Sure, Burrell definitely played a lot of Pong.
LJ, I'm not sure what it was, but
television,
the Bulldogs were heavily favored in television. Yeah, Coach
Yep.
DJ. Of course, this more into the late '80s, early '90s when Nintendo started to come
Oh
out.
yeah.
But Atari, oh well, probably the thing that the youngsters will. Well, I never thought I'd actually use that term, youngsters. But the one thing that they probably laugh about the most when you're talking about Atari is the one stick.
Yes, the joystick. Yeah, that's right.
So the Mustangs with 2:40 left, maybe trying to sneak one more score in here. But the Bulldogs will have plenty to say about that on a 2nd and 7. I know we've kind of gotten off the beaten path of the football game. Here's Hogue again, and this time he gets first down yardage.
That was very disrespectful by 61.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of that in this last, probably the last 2 or 3 possessions. A lot of extracurriculars out there.
Yeah, the Bulldogs definitely taking out their frustration right now. Some of our younger kids in here.
Michael saying his Atari from 1981 still works perfectly. So, Michael, you're going to have to, Mr. Burrell, you're going to have to bring that to the high school and show your students as another flag comes.
Hopefully, they will actually have called holding on them.
Flying in from the side judge, and that thing was on a rope.
Yeah, it was.
There. Yep, it's going to go against the Mustangs. But yeah, Mr. Burrell, you got to bring that in and let your classmates or let your kids get a hold of that. Of course, you're going to have to bring some special hookup to all these HD TVs.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can figure out what kind of hookup you have to put on it.
Now, Mr. Burrell, if you still got that little box that you had to move the switch up and down. I can't even remember what those things are called, but if you wanted to play, you had to move the switch.
Yep, you had to move it up. No, there. 6 again.
Chris Lancaster said when all he had was a tire to roll down the hill. And I don't go quite that far back, Chris, but my aunt and uncle in Virginia had an Atari, and whether it was that or my friends, that's where I was able to play the Atari. We didn't quite have one ourselves.
Yeah, I was kind of step behind everybody. I had to go play over somebody else's house before I could finally get one. But
I would definitely remember that. Coach DJ talking about the butter knife being used to hook up the Atari.
Yeah.
So he says he's still got everything he needs, Mr. Burrell. Heck, he might be hooking it up right now.
He might be hooking it up now. Looks like we're about to have our last play here. Bulldogs will probably try. Let's punch one more in.
Yeah. Is this Hogue?
Hogue again.
Gets to the 20 as we're 20 seconds left. And they may try to. Are they going to? Yeah, they're going to try to get another.
They'll try to get one off. They'll take a shot to the end zone.
Yeah, and why not?
Yeah.
And 8 seconds. 7. There's a snap.
Actually, handed it off.
Straight up the middle. That's a peculiar play there. I thought they'd at least take a shot in the end zone.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're going to call a timeout.
What?
Is that?
No.
Yeah, they got
okay. All right.
Clock stopped at 0.9 seconds, and now they've run off the rest of the time. So that will do it here at Mustang Stadium. Wagoner Bulldogs 40, Bulldogs Mustangs 13. We appreciate everyone that has logged on tonight and indulged us a little bit as we strolled down memory lane as the Bulldogs. Even at times, I don't think there was any doubt that the Bulldogs had this in their grasp, but Bulldogs hung around for a long, long time.
Yeah, they did a good job of. The one thing I really wanted to look at was whether the fact that they were just going to throw in the towel and just know ready for basketball season and not give a lot of effort. But boy, they played hard and played with a lot of pride, so they can walk away, feeling proud of themselves with that. Did a good job. But good job, Bulldogs. Did everything that they really wanted. Got a win. Looks like everybody's healthy. I know I saw Haven walking around pretty good, so I think he's probably fine. He just didn't want to take the chance with him back out there, but looks like everything went well.
So the Bulldogs will end the regular season with a perfect 10-0 record. We will await to see who we play next week in the first round of playoffs, as it might depend on the outcome of some games tomorrow night. Obviously, we went to Thursday night based on the upcoming forecast for Friday as weather part. And so that's why we played on Thursday. So we'll be sure to get that word out, obviously, through our Friday Night Bulldogs page, Wagoner Public Schools page. There'll be plenty of broadcast of where that we know one thing for sure, it will be in Wagoner.
Yeah, definitely have 2 home games coming, and so that's an exciting thing. That's what you definitely want to win that district title for.
So one last time before we go, again, based on the rules during the playoffs, Leland will actually have to apply for permission to stream the playoff games.
Yeah,
we send that to the OSSAA. Van Shea Ivan, who is over the media relations, he's really quick to get back to us and give us that permission. And actually, there's a pretty good fee that comes with that. Mr. Harris steps in and helps pay that. And obviously, our sponsors one last time, our corporate sponsors: Advanced Orthopedics, Cherokee Personnel, Prestige Plumbing, Good Neighbor Realty, Row Insurance, Richard Gray, Kevin Grover GMC, the Moore Lancaster Agency, Bank First, Apex Title and Closing, and Beth Johnson of Good Neighbor Realty, and then our elite sponsors: Shipman Funeral Home, Armstrong Bank, Aspire Health, Arvest Bank, Blue Sky Bank, Smoking Sisters on Dewey, Meats and More, Wagner County Abstract, Al Drug, Bonnie's Flowers, and Smoking Sisters on Main. They have been with Friday Night Bulldogs from the very beginning and is bringing you Bulldog football free, live, and literally worldwide. And we thank everyone that logged on tonight. Still 221 different places with us right now. Yeah, we won't be able to mention our sponsors next week, and we wanted to make sure that we gave them plenty of shout-outs tonight. And I don't know how long the team will be out because this wind is really picking up. Looks like they're already headed to the locker room.
Yeah, hey, well, I just wanted to say thank you for the invite, and really enjoyed this. Really appreciate you doing this for all of our programs.
Well, it's been great to be with you, Leland. I knew you'd do a great job coming up here, and been trying to kind of get you up here a couple of different times, and just the cards fell into place. And thanks for coming with us. And we're gonna leave you guys with that. And again, we appreciate everyone that's logged on and stayed with us through the night as the Bulldogs complete the perfect regular season 10-0. We'll await the opponent next week, and that will probably be released by Sunday officially, but probably we'll know by the end of Friday night.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So that's going to do it from Mustang Stadium. We thank everyone for the support. It's been Garrett Haddock behind the camera and the computer all season long. Leland Alexander coming from the coaching booth to the announcing booth. I'm Jeremy Holmes saying good night and God bless America.